Cool.
Oh my God. Fucking fucking money. Carlos, this is a stupid fucking problem to have. But it is a problem, nonetheless. Rat fuckers. Rat fuckers.
Ain't it funny how even the worst of heathens try to get righteous when they think the Lord is about to tap them on the shoulder? Listen, if I wasn't so sick, I would give you one of these across your ugly lips. Who you calling ugly, sucker? I'm calling you ugly. I could stick your face in some dough and make some gorilla cookies.
Well, the Democrats' way of running this country is to go tell us all how we ought to make sacrifices. God, they're great on that stuff. But they're all going to have us over the hill to the poorhouse. We ain't going to be able to drive over there because we ain't got no gas. We're going to have to walk it.
Well, the Reader's Digest says walking is very good for you.
Oh, ain't that lovely? The Reader's Digest can always put a little joy into poverty. Listen, my whole plan is this whole thing with the energy and everything. This is all a conspiracy. No, you know that is a conspiracy there. Listen, for years, all our lives, they've been telling us to go out and buy stuff that use energy. You know, all electrical stuff. They got electric toaster, electric ovens, electric stove, electric stereo, electric TV, electric race, electric hair blower, electric knife, electric every damn thing. Not to mention the cars. And now, after all the big corporations there make the billions and billions of dollars worth of profits, signals, wham, they're changed. And after telling us for years that we can't live without this junk, now they tell us that we gotta live without it. The country is going straight into the dumper.
Twitter user @Wayne A. Schneider asked, which of you is more like Jesus? Trump, let's start with you.
I love the Bible. I've read the whole book. I love the Bible. Great book, incredible book. I love Corinthians. I love both of them. I think they're incredible. I love their leather. I love their leather. And I'll say this, I really do. I love it. And I'll say the Book of Job, incredible book. Incredible book. It's Jobs is in the Bible. Jobs is in the Bible. If our president wasn't reading the Quran, maybe he'd know that. But here's the point. Very important. Very important. Jesus, most boring part of the book. Are you kidding me? He's a very boring guy. They should have chopped him up into pieces. They should have chopped him up. Why did they crucify him? He came back like Voltron. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I would be a way better Jesus. Way better Jesus. Way better Jesus.
All right. I will, based on the audience reaction, points to Mr. Trump on that. Senator Sanders?
Look, I'm not like Jesus at all. There's nothing in common. I'm far older than Jesus ever was. I don't know, maybe he would have run for, Emperor of Rome or something if he'd lived as long as I did. But let me say this. I am not particularly religious. However, I do have a Holy Spirit-like effect on Vermonters and Vermont-like people. Wherever two or more Birkenstocks are gathered, I am in their midst.
All right, points now to Senator Sanders.
Something a burglar would not want to see when he breaks into a house.
Naked grandma!
Naked, huh?
I don't see that either.
I know you're right, okay? Nobody wants to see a naked grandma, but what are the chances of you breaking in the house and running up into your grandmama naked? Looking for a naked grandmama in the house, outside, in the woods, on the blanket.
Oh, you should be coming on pretty soon, dude. How much do you smoke?
This will be a little demonstration of that Listen up. That was my skull. I'm so wasted.
The city took my job, just a face within the mob, so I had to get away. I was angry at myself, put my own life on the shelf, making pennies every day. Yeah, but I'm through doing time, pushing rocks all through a mine. And if the bad times ain't over for me, I might as well be free. I might as well be free. Spending weekends at the mall, ain't really like it all, but we did the best we could. I'm a symptom of the times, now my face between the lines, when it ever did any good. Yeah, but I'm through doing time, and I've committed no crime. If the bad times ain't over for me, I might as well be free. I might as well be free. Yeah, back on my feet, rich and ready for the streets. I'm not wandering anymore. I got leather on my heels, I got rubber on my wheels, I got a Magnum 44. Yeah, but I'm through doing time with my ass out on the line. And if the bad times ain't over for me, I might as well be free. I might as well be free. Yeah, I might as well be. I might as well be
All right, kids, good morning. Welcome to another exciting episode of the original Red Pill Show here only on Freedom Revolution Network. No, we don't want to hear that. Today is, what is it? February 26, 2020. This show is for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Please use at your own risk. The show is copyrighted by me. No part of it can be reused, rebroadcasted in any way, shape, or form without my written consent, or you can just ask. Finally, show is opinionated. The hosts, especially callers, etc., people that are naughty in the chat room. And I guess Pamela's our gatekeeper. So if you're naughty, you'll be cast into the pits of hell forever, never to be seen again on this show. Callers, guests, whatever, are and always will be opinionated under no circumstances whatsoever. Should opinions be taken as advice? If you're seeking professional advice, we strongly encourage you to hire a license of required person in his or her field there. Little Tommy. Hey, man, I need a new iPod. Pad, whatever the hell this thing. No. That's his name. Broadcasting live from the lovely little wonderful town of Loveland, Colorado that still doesn't have the Wuhan coronavirus. So hopefully we won't. I don't know. We can get into that. I kind of want to talk about it because I don't think it's something that should not be talked about, but talked about with I gotta figure this shit out still. Just talked about on a non-emotional level and see what perhaps can happen. Kind of funny because my family back in Illinois keep calling me because I have my dry storable food in 2 locations, and they're like, when are you gonna come get it? When are you gonna come get it? And I'm like, you know what, just throw it out. And now this stuff's going on, and they're gonna be like, uh-oh. So are you there, Melissa? I hear something.
Good morning.
Are you creeping in on me?
Yeah, I can do that now.
I heard this like
I'm sorry, I got the sniffles. I got the sniffles.
I'm like, No, I didn't hear you were there so much that I thought I did something wrong. And because like yesterday I heard you pecking and I'm like, I don't know if you're there.
That's because I left it muted until it was time.
I heard the dog, I heard the door, I heard the computer, I heard this.
I didn't do that. And I oiled my door. My door does not squeak and squeak anymore. Now, Buddy Cat, I can't control.
Yeah, that's fine. He's a cat. You can't control cats no matter what you do.
And he's an asshole.
Yeah, then he's a cat. That's for sure. So, all right. So, good morning. I am in pain. So, if you see me grimacing or whatever, my back is like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I did it at work or boxing or a combination of both. Because that day was leg day, and she was doing. Anna was doing boot camp body pump shit. It was like kicking her ass. And I'm like, man.
Good. She needs to kick your ass.
No, she did. So, but she's being, hey, Pamela, happy. Oh, yeah, it's Wednesday's hump day. Hey, Mike. Disedated. Yeah. So, there's a lot of shit going on. So, did you not getting into politics just for
No, I did not watch.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I saw the comments though, and I'm so glad I didn't watch.
I'm going to tell you something from here on out. Forget your favorite TV and dude, you're screwed and all that. This is going to be some of the best unscripted, non-programmed television in the history of television, in my opinion, even regardless of its politics. Last night, so I got a phone call about 3:30, and a friend of mine here thought she had a stroke, or her husband thought she had a stroke because she had this real bad pain behind her eye, and it was lazy, and her head was killing her. So she goes, "Can you please watch my dog? Because we don't trust anybody." And blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, it's the same dog I watched on Saturday. And I'm like, yeah. course. So I went over there, and I got to talk about Sling TV too, because I subscribe to that. But anyway, hang on a minute.
It's a decent service.
Yeah, for what you get, yeah, $30, and then I got the $5 news package only because it has financial stuff in there because the stock market's getting the piss pounded out of it too.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I'm
it
watching
is.
that. Yeah, but so I picked up the remote and I was probably gonna watch Netflix, but I'm like, you know what, the debate's on. I really want to watch it, so I did, and oh my god, I mean, they were just going after Bernie Sanders like he was uh I don't like a wanted criminal or something, like,
Yeah.
you know, just trying to crucify him, and they attempted to, but the thing that really got me was how unprofessional all of them were and how CBS just let each one of them talk in and step on each other and not adhere to the times. And I mean, it was total chaos. It was
That's part of the
horrible.
reason why I'm not watching them, because everyone's been like that so far,
Yeah.
from what I've seen.
And then Biden yesterday, I mean, he should just give it up because he don't even know what position he's running for. I mean, I really did have hope for him. I really
Oh,
did.
not me.
I did. I really did. And well, and then Bloomberg, you know, he's coming in like he's going to save the day because he literally said he won the last. Talk about arrogant. Oh my God, he's hard to read, but he's like, well, I won the last debate, and I'm surprised the rest of these people showed up. I'm like,
What?
oh yeah, something along those lines. And then
Oh
every
my goodness.
audience just went, oh, you know, like, oh, what, like, whoa, kind of not a boo, but like in shock, like he even said
Yeah.
that. And he said, I'm the only one here that can beat Trump. None of you can beat Trump. And I'm paraphrasing, I'm not quoting,
Yeah.
but and I'm just, wow, how arrogant. And then his voice. I mean, I don't care how much money you have. He comes up there and he sounds like a little kid with no authoritarian. At least when Sanders speaks, he's got a good voice and his cadence.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's been doing it forever. But
Well,
when
yeah.
Bloomberg comes in, yeah, and I'm running for president. It doesn't slur. I sound like Mike Tyson, but whatever. And it's like, oh my God, will you get some voice lessons and at least learn how to talk with some type of interesting tone or command? Because I'm like, shut up. I don't even want to listen to him talk. So, but it
So
was,
in other words, you're saying that the women had more authoritative voices than he did.
oh, absolutely. Elizabeth, yes, Elizabeth Warren did great. The commentators or the whole, whatever you want to call them, the people
Yeah.
that were the newscasters or the debate board or whatever, they were women until they brought in a couple men from their network to ask some questions and ask some Twitter questions from the audience. But Biden was kind of funny. He was getting pissed because everybody was just jumping in, and then for some reason they would adhere to the time limit with Biden, and he's like, well, you know what, everybody else spoke long, how come I can't speak? And
Because he's an idiot.
it was like a really bad high school debate. I think there was more professionalism and adhering to the rules in a high school debate than this thing.
It doesn't surprise me. That's how they've all been. They just sit there and attack each other instead of talking about the actual issues.
That's interesting you say that, because none of them, and this will be with the Republicans. Again, I don't want to get into fucking politics.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I cannot wait for the Democrats and Republicans being on the same stage. And then the way it looks is probably going to be Trump and Bernie. And that is going to be like the Super
Now
Bowl.
those I will watch.
Oh my
Those
God.
I will watch. I people can say what they want about Bernie, but I have a Jewish family, and my grandparents were stereotypical Jewish grandparents. It's like Italian grandparents. And I can't wait to see that.
I have Jewish friends back in Illinois, and I've known them forever. And they let me in. They're very protective, want to be there around their own type of people.
Mm-hmm.
And they literally told me to my face, they go, Tim, we think you as one of us. And I found that pretty pretty honorable. And
That is a huge honor for a Jewish group
well,
to
yeah,
accept you in.
and they
It
did,
really
and
is.
because they don't trust anybody, and I don't fucking blame them.
Hell no. That's
Especially
how I grew up.
especially when they're your own, and then they know that you're going to betray them. And in Chicago, without naming any names, there's some people with some political power that were like that. They don't look out for the Jews or their own people.
Yeah.
And they'll literally say, yeah, come with me, and I'll load you right onto the train and send you to the fucking concentration camp. And but the reason why I say that is because they said that to me, and I'm just like, I was floored. I was like, oh my God, because I know how they are, and it's like that speaks volumes of what they thought of me. But yeah, I just brought that up because I didn't know you had Jewish background or whatever, and it's crazy.
Oh yeah, that's one of the reasons why, as much as people will try to convert me into Christianity, it's just not something that's going to happen. I grew up under Jewish teachings, and I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, with both my great grandma and my grandmother. And when I was little, I knew some Yiddish and all that kind of stuff. And let me tell you, so I don't like stereotypes, but my grandparents were the typical Jewish grandparents.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Oh, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right.
It's I was one of the first ones raised outside of the religion, and I just kind of went off in my own direction.
So what do you say, without getting into this, because I want to get back to the debate, because the Jewish religion or whatever's always fascinated me. So have you heard or been accused, not you, but to Jewish people, of actually killing Jesus and not believing him?
Oh, honey, you wouldn't believe the things I went through growing up in Texas and being Jewish.
I didn't even think of that. Uh-oh.
I
Yeah.
lost my best friend whenever I was 11 years old. I lost my best friend because her parents, her dad, found out that my family was Jewish. Never mind the fact that I'd been to synagogue all of once in my life. And I was no longer allowed to be friends with her. All because I was Jewish.
See, because technically, it depends on how you look at this. And I'm not looking to have anybody be a scapegoat or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, did the Jews really kill Jesus, or did the Romans?
Well, I mean, technically the Romans.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, Jesus was a threat to both of them, but yeah, the ones that carried it out were the Romans. If anything, the Jewish
they made the Jews carry it out.
Right.
But I mean, what were they supposed to do? Die themselves?
Right. Yeah, it's very fascinating, and when you look into it, but I've always tried to figure it out without any type of discrimination, malice, whatever, keeping my feelings out of it, is actually who really did kill him. Because
and see, that's one of why I have some issues when it comes to organized religion, because everybody blames everybody for everything.
Oh, yeah.
And
Right.
It's like, get over it.
Right.
We're all people. We have different beliefs. Whatever gets us closer to that being or higher power or God or Jesus or whatever you want to call it, more power to you.
Yeah.
Make that connection.
The thing is, it was in the prophecy anyway. It was going to happen regardless of who did what. So blaming whoever did what doesn't matter. I mean, it was going to happen. So, I mean, what are you going to do? But back to the debate. That's fascinating. Yeah. I'm sorry you went through that, because that's I'm getting sick and tired though of some stuff. I'm going to get on a rant here quick. That there isn't any white racism or white oppression. And I never really looked at it that way as far as a color thing. Of course, I'm not black, or we're gonna be a minority if we're not already. But I can promise you that I have been oppressed pretty much my entire life by people with power, regardless of their color or religion or creed or whatever. and it falls along the lines of what we're talking about with you. I'm just getting sick and tired of getting blamed for something that somebody else did. And you really have no idea the struggles that I've been through just to get where I am. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing about white privilege, quote unquote,
Mhm.
is it's not saying that white people don't have it rough also. It's saying that, and I can relate to it because of the fact that I am white, but I also have Jewish heritage.
Mhm.
Nobody can see that Jewish heritage unless I tell them.
Mhm.
Whereas if you are a person of color, you can't hide that. And there are things in life that make your life harder being a person of color than the average white person. So it has nothing to do with prejudice or anything like that.
Mhm.
It just has to do with the fact that we as white people, no matter what our religion is, we don't get the same immediate mistreatment.
Right.
I didn't lose my best friend until her father found out that I was Jewish.
Yeah, that's just so wrong. I mean, where I grew up and then where my kids grew up, it was all multi-diversity, and
Yeah.
I
It
had a
depends
friend.
on where you grow up too.
Yeah, but I can't. I hate people that say that everybody's equal and blah 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 blah, and then when they go home with behind closed doors, it's the total opposite. I just can't. And then you're in my opinion, racism is not something that just happens, it's taught.
Yeah.
And it's passed down. I don't care what color you are or what background you are or what you believe in. It's what you tell your kids. And this shit's got to stop, man. It's just got to fucking stop because it's not getting anywhere. But I saw a little bit of Jewish heritage in you, Mo. How so? Are you having a
Probably my
bagel?
nose.
Are you eating a bagel?
Oh, I love bagels actually.
Okay, it was a joke, kind of figured. When are you gonna get a camera?
As soon as probably like middle of the month.
Did you find one yet or no?
I have one on our Freedom Revolution Amazon wish list. There's a few of them on there actually.
Okay.
But they're all like right around $25.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. I can't believe I got a little micro SD card here, and I think this is 256. What is this? Gigabytes? No,
Megabytes.
megabytes. Yeah, but they have a terabyte one now, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, that's as big as my fingernail. I'm showing you
Yeah.
more. That is fucking crazy. I'm sorry, it is. That is just, and this is what we have, us peasants, available to us.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine what's really out there in the dark ops secret world of whatever? I mean, the technology is just crazy. That because I bring that up because that camera, when it first came out, probably was easily $100.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, okay, back in the day, I think I've mentioned it before that I used to, my first, like, I guess, real job online was doing tech support for one of the very first cam companies. And when we would do the tech support, or it was a group of cam girls, they would send us a camera for our computers. And we're talking back in like right around 2001, 2002.
Mm-hmm.
And that camera was $300 back then.
That's just, I know, just like watching that 80s show or that Black Monday when they give him that cell phone, the brick phone.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. And actually, that wasn't even accurate as far as I can tell, because I remember a bag coming with it, which had a battery in it.
That was the one prior to that one, though.
Okay, so the one he had was an upgrade?
Yeah, that was, the bag ones came out, I want to say like mid 80s.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I couldn't afford it anyway, so it didn't matter. But I
Right.
know all the business owners had them, and they could talk from their car doing business and all that. crap and showed off with it. Whatever. It was ridiculous. I think it was a Motorola. If I'm not mistaken. But anyway, back to the debate. So there's a guy there that I'm not following this stuff. I'm really not. And I'll get into Sling in a minute because I just reactivated TV because for $30, $35, I'm like, what the hell? But anyway, so I was watching the debate, and there's this guy that's a businessman, and that's all they had underneath his name, named Tom something. He was at the far right, looking at the stage, or far stage left. And he started getting on this rant about reparations or whatever for slaves and black people and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on a minute, my alarm's going off. Oh, I have backup alarms and everything. It's crazy.
Oh, you and me both.
Yeah, and he, I got 3 gizmos that go off, and I mean, no matter if I hit the snooze or not on the one I got close to me, I got to get up and turn the other ones off, and by then I'm up. I just might as well stay up. So that's my system. But in any case, so this guy was saying we need reparations for black people and this and that and all that crap and whatever. For the past 400 years of how they were treated in this country. And you should have seen the look on the face. There's some woman, she's an attorney or something, prosecutor, and you should have just saw her face because she smirked and laughed because to my math, we haven't been around for 400 years.
We haven't. I mean, number one, the timing was wrong. The time.
He said it twice, though.
Oh, geez.
He reiterated it, and he's like, I'm like, how could you even come up with that math, even by mistake?
Well, I mean, okay, we've only been a country for 200 plus years, but we started coming over here. When was it? 1492. Is that right?
Wow, 1490. Yeah, Christopher Columbus.
Yeah. So, I mean, technically, yes, we were already bringing slaves over that long ago.
Yep.
So technically, yes, it was correct. But when you first think about it, yeah, you think, oh, but we've only been around for, 200 years. But we've actually been active for a lot longer.
I saw that and I just died. And I'm like, well, you know what? That guy could be Bernie Sanders' running mate because he doesn't know math either. So they'd be a perfect freaking match. He's like, every time Bernie Sanders, how are you going to pay for this? Oh, blah, 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 blah. No, it's like, oh my God. Really? The scary part is he makes sense. And the younger generations are picking up on that because he does. I think he won it. I think from that perspective, he's the best candidate. And I really do think he's going to get the nomination. I called that without sounding like an asshole. I called that months ago, at least 6 months ago, that he was going to win because he's the only one that's going to make sense.
Yeah.
And he does. He does make sense. He just can't explain it. So what the hell? Would you mind giving out the phone number again? And I got to keep Zoom open. And apparently you muted anybody that calls, right?
I don't know if I actually succeeded in that or not, but
I think you did because when what's her name, Anita, when she called yesterday, she was muted.
Yeah, that's right. She wasn't she?
Yep, because I didn't even know. And then on my end, it's a doorbell. I still don't know if you can hear that or not. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to, but
I heard it yesterday.
Oh, did you? Okay,
yes.
Yeah, that's the doorbell for people. Well, I guess there's probably used for other things, but it's definitely used for a phone tone ring or whatever. So, but it was interesting yesterday. And then my friends are true and tried Democrats. And I go, you got to watch this. I go, they're out for blood. Like, oh my God, they're just tearing Bernie Sanders oh my God. But he did good. And he was turning red a little bit one time. Him and Biden were both getting pissed. I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't think Biden knows where the hell he is, let alone what's going on. But
I would just like to know where they get the idea that so many people support him, because I sure don't know anybody who does.
He's riding on the coattails of Obama, and that whole administration and legacy. And look what we did. And it's like, yeah, that's great. But, this is a different time. Yeah, it's really doesn't matter what somebody did in the past. And that Buddha, whatever guy. What the hell's his name?
Buttigieg.
That's it. Yeah, he actually made some sense too, but
He does, but he's so out of touch.
yeah, he is out of touch. But he was making some sense. So because he was comparing what's been done, and then if you go with Bernie Sanders, you're gonna fall back in the '60s, which I thought was funny actually. But yeah, he said that in a roundabout way, and I'm like, wow. It's pretty, but make no mistake, they were trying to knock down Bernie Sanders because
Oh yeah, because he's the biggest threat right now.
But what I witnessed the Democratic Party literally tearing itself apart.
Well, and that's part of the reason I've never been able to watch like primary debates and stuff like that. I've tried.
Yeah.
And they all go after each other instead of talking about the issues, like really talking about the issues.
Right.
Not slamming somebody else for what they plan on doing.
Right.
And it's always been that way. I never watch debates until we get past all the bullshit.
Well, I love adding my own comments because Biden said, well, I'm the only one that knows how to deal with foreign people in powerful positions and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, like blackmailing Ukraine. You know, I'm just being a sarcastic asshole.
Yeah.
You know, I just throwing this stuff in there. Don't sit there and pretend that we don't know everything about what you're referring to, whether it's truly accurate or not. You know, it's just like, don't sit there like you're holier than thou and you have everything figured out because nobody does actually.
No.
And when somebody says something that is, look at me and look what I've done. Well, yeah, but you've also done this and what you're talking about. But see, they don't bring that up.
Yeah.
So it's all a matter of attack and, well, I have the experience and this and that. It's like, whatever. And then they do get in office and then they don't do jack shit. Well, it's different than I thought it was. And I wasn't privileged to that. Yeah. It's like, so, I really can't do what I said I was going to do. And then here we go all over again. So, but whatever. But for the most part, for entertainment, it's really.
Oh yeah. For entertainment. That's one thing.
If you can disconnect yourself from, it's actually running for president of the United States and just go, oh my God, I'm just going to watch these people tear each other apart. And it's like a Family Feud type of thing. I mean, it's just very dysfunctional and very mean, but very entertaining. So, and if that you like to watch that isn't a scripted TV show, then that's for you. Cause it was just really, I'm watching it for entertainment and trying to predict the outcome. And I still think it's going to be Sanders. I mean, he was the only one that made any sense. So, which is very scary. Very scary. It's the best our country has to offer. And it's going to be with the Republicans too. Like I said, this is not Democrats. It's just like, you look at the forerunners of what's going on and it's like, oh my God, we're in big trouble.
I got my ballot for the preliminaries.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly didn't even know. I knew there was one guy running against Trump, but I did not realize we have, let's see here, I'm looking at it. 1, 2, 3. We have 6 people on the ballot for Republican.
Yeah.
And I think it was Bill Weld is the one that did some commercials. But beyond that, I haven't seen anything on Republicans at all.
No, you're right. But I haven't been paying attention. But I haven't either. But my head is not immersed into this stuff. And it's a good segue because I'm sitting at home now and I only can watch Netflix for so long and all that crap. And I saw advertisement for Sling TV and I've tried it before and I'm like, it was okay, whatever. And it was like, I looked at it again and I got there's an orange and blue package. What I like about it is that you don't have to get the whole package. No. And I'm not saying in a sense of, well, movie channels and HBO, because everybody has that. Most of these streaming services and Dish Network or DirecTV, it's like the minimum package is everything. It's like, well, I don't want everything. I want to a la carte it if that's even possible. That'd be really cool.
Right.
But it was, you can pick these channels, which is the blue package, or you can pick these channels, which is the orange package. and some slant more to a different audience of what you want to pay for to watch. I can't remember which one I picked, but I think I picked the orange one. Could have been, I fucking don't know. But then I picked the news package because of the financial stuff too. And it's $35 a month. And I'm like, and then I turned it on. And one thing I noticed right away, because I haven't watched television in 4 or 5 months, all the freaking commercials. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, is there really a program? Because you guys keep running commercials every 10 minutes. So it seemed to me.
Yeah. A half-hour TV show is about 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's insane. And I didn't like that. But I've tried YouTube TV. I've tried Sony's thing that they got rid of after the first of the year. I've tried Hulu. I've tried all the online streaming, DirecTV's service, and they're all, no matter what, around $50 a month. And this was 30 plus $5 for the news package, which I was kind of reluctant to do because I don't want to submerge my head into the news, and no matter who it is, I don't want to really get into that, but I want to be a little bit informed of what's going on. So yeah, $35 a month. I really don't think that's too bad of a deal. So,
and I'm sending you the link to Unity, the TV that I have.
Okay.
I actually pay $37 a month, and I have channels from literally around the world. I watch a lot of UK TV.
Oh, okay.
And so one part of it is like your live TV, and there is just umpteen channels. You get all the movies and everything, and then you get another platform that has on demand. It also has like regular cable TV on it live, but none of the worldwide, and their on demand is just incredible.
I will check it out because I'm going to. I'm trying to live without some type of quote unquote TV programming, and it's just like almost impossible for me. So it is.
My TV's on all the time because I have anxiety issues and I'm in the house by myself. So
yeah, I got it. Just for at least background noise or whatever.
Yeah.
So you don't go stir crazy. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, you can ask me what I'm watching, and 90% of the time I have no idea.
Right. So did you put the phone? Yeah, you did put the phone number in there. Okay, cool. Because what I want to talk about, see if anybody wants to call in. I really want to know how people feel and what they think of the Wuhan coronavirus. Because I watched press releases yesterday with WHO and everybody else in mainstream media news, and they finally admitted, without really admitting, that it is a pandemic, and it's not a matter of when it hits, or if, I'm sorry, it's not a matter if it hits this country, but when.
Yeah.
And they're saying, and I just looked up Patriot Food Supply because they have a comment on this, or a whole page on it, that people should prepare for their lives to be interrupted.
Yeah. I was seeing that too.
So what the hell does that mean?
Well, because if certain areas, if your bigger cities go under lockdown, that's going to interrupt mail service. It's going to interrupt deliveries. There's all kinds of things.
Well, my question is this: how lenient is the government going to be to us peasants when that happens, as far as people that are dependent on income, getting a check in the mail, or how that works? I don't know. Could be different. Could be direct deposit or whatever. Or money that you owe, like me, in back taxes. And it's like, look, I'm quarantined, by the government stating you will not leave your apartment.
Yeah.
How the fuck am I supposed to get to work? And then they're already showing empty shelves in China, in Wuhan, at the grocery stores, because everybody wiped them all out.
Did you see the pictures that Scarlett posted?
No.
She went to get some bleach and the shelves were empty. There was no bleach.
Yeah,
None.
I kind of have a feeling that that people are at least the ones that are I don't want to say they're thinking. I would say they're more reacting. I don't know who's doing this. That's why I want to hear from people out there is what is their frame of mind? Are they reacting and going, "Oh my God, we got to go buy all this shit," or they're just like, "Well, you know what? It'd be better to prepare for this, and I am going to go buy stuff without being reactionary or emotional about it."
Yeah.
And they're quote unquote prepping for it to be holed up for a month or whatever. And
Yeah,
is
they're
that
actually
why?
saying 2 months is
Hey,
how
what
long
up?
you should plan to be.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, I will go freaking crazy if I'm in this place by myself. And by myself, no goldfish, no cat, no woman, no nothing, no sex doll robot, fucking none of that shit. It's gonna be just me. And that is gonna be pretty. I was in treatment for 30 days back in my early 20s for drug addiction, and that was other people, but I'm not the type of person to be holed up. I'm just not. It's gonna drive me fucking nuts. Unless I'm thinking maybe I'll buy a bunch of PS4 games or something and just get lost into those or write a book. I mean, I can find things to do. But man, that's gonna be a tough challenge for me.
Boy, you just said about games and having something to do.
Yeah.
And of course it made me look up at my shelf and I have a 21-year-old, so we've been collecting games since both my kids were little. And we have a PS2, we have an old a regular Xbox, and we have an Xbox One. So we have like bunches of games. Yay.
Including Evercrack.
Well, now, okay, see, this is where my questions come in.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Because mine's an online game. I have to be hooked up to the internet.
Oh yeah, right.
What are they? I mean, especially because of the fact that if we have internet, we can communicate with other people. What are they going to do about that? Are they going to cut us off? What's going to happen? I'm one of those lucky people. I work from home. So if I'm quarantined, I can still work as long as I have internet.
My opinion and perspective on this is that you're not going to be able to go to work, so nobody's going to be able to supply the essentials like power and water and whatever.
That's my thought too, is we're going to lose all of our quote unquote normal utilities, which internet is one of those now.
I think what they may do, and this is just a total guess based on my gut feeling, the military will take all that over, but the military isn't big enough to provide it to you, to me. I mean, Loveland Grand Junction is getting out, piss on them. That's their fault. But I think they probably will do their best to keep all those utilities on for the major cities.
Dang. I'm on the other side of a freaking mountain from a major city.
Yeah, well, I'm over an hour from Denver. They ain't gonna give a flying fuck about me. So, they're gonna, and if you go out there and go, well, we need to take care of our town, and people will go out to risk to do their job, they're probably gonna get shot or rounded up and thrown into quarantine. So, because I hear that's what they're doing already. They're just taking these people and throwing them in some facility and letting it wait out until they all test negative, and then they let them go. And it's just a rumor that I heard. So,
well, everything's rumors at this point.
Well, yeah, they're not. That's kind of funny because Lou Dobbs. So I got the news package, and Fox Business Network is on there. And if anything out of Fox, quite honestly, I can't even handle Fox News. So, but I like Fox Business News because they're a little bit different. And they're coming from the financial economy part of it.
Yeah.
And Lou Dobbs was on there, and he had some guy that was the health czar for the Trump administration.
Uh-huh.
And I love Lou Dobbs because he'll even swear on air. He'll use hell or whatever when he starts getting pissed because he demands answers from our elected servants. And he that's the way he is, and that's the way it should be. And that's the media's job. is for them to get on these people to
Yeah.
tell us what the hell is going
what's really going on.
Yeah.
Not what are your talking points, what's really going on.
Exactly. Or blowing smoke up her ass, or, oh, don't worry, everything's fine. Because I was shocked yesterday when they actually said, without saying that, it's not, it's all under control. It's like, whatever. But we will have to prepare for your life to be disrupted. Well, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah. How far disrupted? I mean, look at what's going on other places. How is that going to affect America? I mean, the US and Canada for that matter, and Mexico.
They should really, well, Patriot Supply, they said that because Alex Jones is selling it too. And Patriot Supply, the owners actually said the government wanted to buy up their entire inventory, and they told them no.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why we support them.
Yeah, so what's that about?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, this health czar.
Why are they doing that?
The health czar on Lou Dobbs didn't say, well, yeah, we approached all storable food companies to buy their product, and they said no. Why don't you bring that up? I mean, what are you people doing?
Yeah, I would love to know what it is why they are buying it all up, other than just to have control over it.
Just imagine if you or I or somebody called Patriot Supply and said, I want to buy your entire stock. How long do you think it would be before the government would be knocking on your fucking door?
Oh, right.
Okay, but when they do it,
it's okay.
Everything's fine, and it's not a pandemic, but it may disrupt your life. In the meantime, call Patriot Supply and order all their crap. What?
Yeah. And by the way, I did post our link out for
I saw that.
Patriot.
I saw that.
And if you buy from Patriot, it also goes to help support this. So blah blah blah. I can't talk this morning.
Who's that? You sound like me.
Station. I'm actually surprised I don't do that more.
I gotta stay off. This mic I'm using is so much better in gain, at least. I mean, this thing's a foot, and I'm used to getting into it. And when I get into it, I overmodulate it. I gotta, especially when I do my voices or whatever you want to call them, because impersonations, because I really like getting into the mic. And when I do that, I overdrive the shit out of this thing. I like how it is now, but I think it sounds better it to me, because I don't have to. I could stay here the entire show and sound the same, and that's
awesome.
Kind of impressed by it. Yeah, whatever. Just had to share that. Because when I did I got into the mic and I was like, no, I can't do that. Can't do that, Tim. I don't know. Whatever. But what's really going on? And Lou Dobbs, pretty much made this health czar accountable.
Nice.
And saying,
they have to check him out.
I'm telling you, forget your political and it's Fox and whatever. I mean, forget all of that. Just check that at the door and just watch Lou Dobbs, because he doesn't let these people. And actually, Lou Dobbs used to be on CNN years ago. And
that may be why his name sounds familiar.
Yeah, and so did Glenn Beck. And believe it or not, out of all the shows that were on, I think Greta Van Susteren was on there too. And all those people, I loved them. I mean, I saw Glenn Beck coming up like crazy. Another one that's on there is Trish Regan. She's when she started, I go, man, you're just gonna kick ass. And she goes, well, thank you. And she is. I mean, but Lou Dobbs is like that too, but he's been around forever, and he just doesn't take bullshit from anybody. He lets you know that he supports the president and Trump.
Yeah.
But if somebody comes in there just because, oh, well, I love you because you're on Trump's board and administration and you're always going to do right and fuck the Democrats. No, no. He put this guy on the spot and go, promise me you will let us know and be extremely transparent in real time with the cases that are going on and what's going on to protect the American people from this virus. And I'm like, whoa. Whoa. And then he made some excuse. The guy made an excuse. Well, who has to come in and they have to do the counting and all this kind of crap, and the UN. And Lou Dobbs is like, well, screw the UN. I don't care about the UN, which again was great. But, the guy kind of blew it off a little bit and made the accountability on who, and, we got to get all these people involved to count something. It's like, whatever. But
Yeah.
but no, I mean, he really put him on the spot and made him
Good.
say, yes, we will be transparent with people and let them know what's going on. And I think that's the
Yeah.
way it should be.
Well, it should be, but just because he says it now doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Right. Well, who knows? I mean, if if it gets that bad and everything else, what they're worried about is total anarchy.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's what they're worried about. But it's just very interesting that. Oh, and did you hear that? Although we have the best medical technology and facilities in the entire planet, we can't get any masks or surgical gloves because they
Yeah.
all come from China.
Yeah.
And that's something else I'm going to get into, and then maybe I'll end the show. It doesn't really matter. I don't even know where to go, but I don't want people. I don't want people thinking I'm a real asshole. But we have the smartest people on the planet for our economy and growth and trade and the whole 9 yards. Again, not getting into politics. This is just the smartest people on the planet, the ones that ran our company into the ground in 08 with the meltdown. Those people making decisions that we should transfer all our manufacturing jobs and use China as a supply chain. I knew, here we go. I knew that was a huge mistake, only from the perspective that if we go to war with them, that they're going to tell us to go fuck ourselves. All the companies that are over there physically are going to be stuck. China's going to take them over and going to go, well, fuck you. You know, this is our country and it's war now. Everything's off, game over. And you're our company. And that's just tough shit. That's what I thought was going to happen. But I never even dreamed in a million years that the scenario that would play out would be the Corona Wuhan virus that would be the catalyst to show how stupid that
Right.
really was. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We've come to rely on outside countries for pretty much everything.
Right. I've learned enough in life because I have trust issues really a lot now to put my livelihood and my survivability into someone else's hands. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
bad enough you have a job that you have to do that, which you don't have to do that, but you do have to do that. But then when you need to go buy something, you have to put your faith and trust into someone else to make sure that you can get that.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it's wrong and kind of risky, and it makes no goddamn sense to begin with anyway. So, well, it's cheaper for us to ship it across the what would that be, the Pacific Ocean and blah blah from Asia, and pay these poor people jack shit because you don't want to pay Americans a good livable wage. That's just not right. There's a lot of reasons why all this has happened. I don't want to get into that, but
that would be a good 6-7 hour show.
oh yeah, it's mostly because we're a reserve currency and we're exporting all our inflation and we're printing so much money that if all that money stayed here and you employed people and stayed in the country, hyperinflation would have happened a long time ago. But forget all of that. So it's like, why are you doing that in our supply chain? I mean, if I had a business and it's like, well, Tim, you're gonna have to get all your parts for your company from this guy that lives on a fucking island halfway around the world, would be like, what? Well, yeah, because he's cheaper. It doesn't make any sense. I could go get these parts right down the street, or in my town. And then you're accused of protectionism and all this other crap. It's like, it makes no sense. And now, I mean, in defense of the people that I'm attacking and ranting on, I never thought this would play out like this. I did know it would play out, but I didn't know it would play out like this.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously the virus is a new element in the whole discussion.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really wish that they taught the classes that they taught when we went to school, because I can still remember being in my government class and looking at the teacher and going, okay, this is not logical.
Right.
And about a lot of different things. And so, I mean, I guess I've been kind of woke or whatever term you want to use. pretty much all my life when it comes to that kind of stuff, because I saw that, you know, it's like, how can we move forward and actually do things in a logical way and not rely on all these countries that any given minute we could end up in war with.
Right. Yeah, especially the communist ones. Yeah, it's like, well, we're looking past that because it's about capitalism. And it's actually about fucking profits and money. Don't insult my intelligence. That's exactly what it's about.
Well, that's what capitalism is profits.
Yeah, but capitalism should be fine as long as it stays in your own country. But whoever thought of, and it's just bean counting, stupid thinking. They can say they're the smartest people on the planet. If that's really good for the country and everything else, and I said this a long time ago, the people on the news networks that are saying, oh yeah, this is great, we're enriching these third world countries and yada yada yada, it's like, okay, why don't we take your ass off the fucking television and quit paying your $1 million contract and have some person that makes $1 an hour or even that in some other third world country and come on and take your fucking job? How does that sound?
Right.
And even more the politicians. Well, yeah, we need this and this is the best of our country. It's like, well, wait a minute. If it's good for us, it's good for you. And I know you can't do this, but like, okay, so we're going to take somebody that lives out of the country and they're going to become Congress members and even the president of the United States. Because you know what? We're going to save money because that's capitalism. I mean, come on. When O'Reilly was saying shit like that, not picking on him, oh, this and that and everything else, and I think he was against all of it. He's been off the air for a while from Fox, but I used to watch him all the time. And he kind of reminds me of Simon Cowell, actually, which, but my favorite judge, I'm going to get off the subject. My favorite judge of all time is Steven Tyler off of American Idol. Really is. I thought he was so great. I do. But I'm just looking at these people squawking at me and these talking heads. Yeah, this is good for the country and this and that. But it's like, okay, well, why don't we replace some guy that can't even speak English for your fucking job because they're going to make 10 cents on the dollar compared to what you're making. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right?
Yeah, that's a standard saying in my life.
You know, our lives could be so much better if people would just read fucking fairy tales. The Three Little Pigs, Tortoise and the Hare, you know, just all this. It's all been learned. The Golden Goose, I love that one.
Yeah.
Was that the Golden Goose, the one that laid the golden eggs one a day?
Yep.
Yeah, see, nowadays, well, we'll just cut that fucker open and get them all out. Well, no, you just destroyed the golden egg a day, dumbasses.
Yeah, because of your need to satisfy something immediately, you've now taken away your resource.
Right. Exactly.
Self-defeating.
Right. And all our houses are made out of straw. And hurry, hurry, hurry. You know, and it's like, no, it's like, buy the brick house. Patience and time always wins the race. And don't kill the fucking golden goose. You know, I mean, that should be everybody's mission statement. You know, I mean,
yeah.
Come on. So, but what do you do without including you? You know, get your anxiety up. What are you supposed to do? I don't care what the government thinks or what other people think. And like I said, I've had money more, and I never really, at one point, had to live paycheck to paycheck per se to survive, but I do now. So what do we do now? We're watching this. Now it's coming to potential reality that we might get in a lockdown situation. You're not going to have grub and go or Uber Eats or whatever to call to bring you food. People, we're so spoiled in our lifestyle. You're not going to be able to go out to a restaurant and eat. So what do you do? And what if the power shut off and you can't make your own food that you bought at the store and you put in a freezer? Because number one, the power may go out and it's all going to go bad anyway, but your gas is going to be off. So you can't prepare it. So are we supposed to take our income that we're getting from our checks and take whatever, which whatever that would be. I can't take a lot, hardly if anything, to go out and buy some prepared food just in case this may happen or may not happen. I mean, where do you go? Where do you go from here at the fork in the road? You just live your life like nothing's going to happen and just hope and pray. And if it happens, it happens. Or because I'm going to tell you something, man, when you don't have food and don't have water and it's just you, let alone now your wife and your family and your pets, you're going to have a total different perspective. I am not kidding you. You're not just going to go, oh, well, game over. That's the way it happened, as you watch your kids and your pets starve to death.
Right.
What do you do as an average American person like you or like me that can't afford to get storable food and water and a little Coleman fire? I mean, does Patriot Supply do financing? I mean, I don't know.
They
What
do financing through, I want to say it's Amazon Pay. I got to go look. But they do actually. They do have a financing, but you have to be able to qualify for it. So if you don't qualify for it, you're still in the same position.
Well, my opinion and thinking is this, because I've been down the prepper road. My whole freaking basement was full of water and storable foods and canned foods so long and so far that it went past the expiration date and I had to throw the shit out. I had to throw it out anyway because I was getting divorced, and I gave whatever I had to people that needed it. Like I can't remember what I did with it, but I didn't throw it all away. But I've been down this road, and I went with the pendulum going all the way to the right and going, oh my God, I got to do this and I got to do that. For people that haven't been through that, that's probably going to be their normal reaction because they're going to do it all based on fear.
Right.
Which is perfectly normal. It's perfectly normal. But my question is, again, I don't know what the government thinks. I don't know what these people think. You know, we just can't print money and I wish I could, and I never would, but it's just an analogy. I wish I could fire this printer up right here and print me some fucking money to go buy some storable food. But we can't do that unless you want to go to prison.
Right.
You can't, and good luck making them anyway. I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying we can't do that. What are we supposed to do to survive?
One of the big suggestions that the Scarlet has actually been getting stuff from the Dollar Tree.
Yeah,
various things from the Dollar Tree,
Mhm.
and they really do have quite a few items that you can either slowly or quickly stock up on. Obviously, they have canned foods and things like that. And that's my best suggestion. And that, and one of the things I picked up last time we went to the grocery store was pancake mix that you mix with water.
Ugh. Okay.
Well, hey, if
I know.
you're starving, you're going to eat it.
Oh, yeah, I know. You'll eat your shoe if you're starving. I get it. I'm just
Yeah.
saying right now with the full, actually, I didn't eat breakfast. With the full tummy I ate last night, pancakes are not one of my favorite foods, but I was being a smart ass. I get it.
But yeah, stuff like that. And I did actually make sure that I got the one that I only needed water, not milk and eggs.
That's wise. You know what I would like to suggest that we do? I don't want to tell people what to do, but I think we should probably come up with some type of emergency food list that we come up collectively together and what we would do and share that.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to hurt. And the best worst thing that can happen to somebody is they lose their job, but they have food to eat.
Exactly.
So the whole thing is losing your income, whether it's by your choice or such as menial compared to a Wuhan virus, such as menial as losing your job, which is horrible. But in this particular case, you're going to have no say in it whatsoever and no decision. I mean, you're going to lose your income and you're going to be stuck.
See, and I'm wondering about like housing. We pay rent. What happens when we go on lockdown, and now we can't pay our rent.
Well, isn't it called a moratorium or whatever? What is that? Where they just stop everything and it's like nothing's going to happen. You know, everything's in suspension or hiatus until this blows over. I mean, they're going to have to do that.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sitting here going, okay, well, you know, if my son can't go to work, but I can work, I don't make enough to cover all the bills.
Right.
I need
don't know.
we need his income to complete our bills. And so we privately rent. We rent through a private person. I mean, granted, the courts aren't going to be open, so they can't actually evict you. But what happens after we're let out?
Yeah.
And
Are they going to come get you?
now you're 2 months behind on rent.
Right. And you're evicted. No, I know. I see. This is all things that people don't put into what may happen.
Yeah.
You want to hear something funny? Last night, Bloomberg goes, they asked him about what they do about the economy or this or that or whatever. And he goes, well, we're $20 trillion in debt. And I'm like, wait a minute. This guy's a billionaire and blah, 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 blah. And he don't even know what our debt is. It's actually 23, almost 0.5 trillion dollars. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're the highest we've ever been.
You know, I know he's got billions of dollars coming out of his ass and everything else. Oh, well, I was only $3 trillion off. Really? Really?
Only 3 trillion.
Only 3 trillion off. Who gives a shit? Who cares? It's peanuts. Yeah. In the meantime, you owe us $100 for your income tax return. You need to pay it now. Here's your penalties and interest.
Yeah.
Really?
That 100 shoots up to 1,000.
And we're going to garnish your wages and just turn it into $300. And if you don't pay, you're going to prison. Really? I thought 3 trillion was no big deal. I mean, come on. People better get in touch with us peasants because none of them they're not gonna get elected. People ain't that stupid anymore. What?
I'm not gonna comment on that.
They are stupid or they're not stupid. Here. This is
well,
the first time to do this.
The best way to put that would be not that they're stupid, but uninformed.
Or they're too trusting. They just think that I just can. Is this on the screen? I just shared it.
Let me look. I wasn't looking.
I saw Ron doing this shit with this earthquake crap. Sorry, no offense. I'm just saying. And I'm like, that's really cool.
Yeah. The way that you share your screen. Hang on, let me pull my Zoom.
It's sharing it.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I was looking at the YouTube, so it wasn't up yet.
Are you awake yet? You need some more coffee.
I am on cup number 2.
I don't see it, Tim. I'm on the YouTube. Sorry.
I forget about the delay.
What a co-host. Get on the same page here. What's wrong with you? Okay. Yeah, at least look at this because people don't even know about this. And this is one of my resources I stumbled on after the meltdown. And this breaks it down to like, I mean, the red's bad. I'm just going to be really probably insulting here. The red's bad. The green's good. And you can even break this down by state. If you look to the left top there, it says state debt clocks and then world debt clocks. There's not one state that is in the green. They all spend more money than it's coming in. But then they go, yeah, but our GDP is this. I don't fucking care what your GDP is. Us peasants, again, I can't say that when I go to the bank or I'm behind my bills. Well, you're spending more than you're bringing in, Mr. Parsons. Can't do that. Well, yeah, but my GDP is this, which would probably be your net worth in comparison, but still. It's like, that doesn't matter. You're spending more than you're bringing in. And that is this entire system right here. And it's scary as hell. I mean, just look at the interest clicking on that. Look at that. That top left number, U.S. national debt. Look at all of that. That's interest and money being spent by our government.
And look how fast it moves.
Yeah. And the higher it goes, the faster it's going to move because the higher the interest goes.
See, one of my big questions ever since I was a kid has always been, what happens if all these countries, particularly China, that we owe money to, call in their debts? we're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are owned by other countries. We it's, and I hear people all the time, talking about all the other little pieces that are positive, but what is our national debt? Our national debt means that if one of those countries calls our debt, we're gone.
You want to hear my ultimate conspiracy theory on this? You want to hear
Probably
it?
along lines of mine.
Well, you just nailed the nail on the head, because this country is going to get taken over, or we're going to lose it if we don't lose it amongst ourselves and fighting.
Right.
Is going to get taken over by what you just said.
Yep.
And you know who it's going to be?
Either China. My guess is China, because we owe most of our money to China.
No, this thing, in my opinion, people are going to go, oh my God, Tim's fucking crazy. I don't really care. England has been pissed at us ever since we left.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay. The Rothschilds got all their money, or most of it, from lying to the king or queen. Excuse my terms here. I don't know who I think it was the king at the time, when they were fighting the French way back when.
Yeah.
And Rothschild was one of the Rothschilds was one of the ones that was the messenger going from the battlefield back to the king to report status of the war. Well, England was winning the war, but they told this guy to go to the king and lie to him and say, we're going to lose the war. So what everybody did was they sold all their stocks, and they did this and they did it, and they got rid of their assets because they knew they were going to lose the war. And the Rothschilds came in and bought it all for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
Okay. Look up who owns the Federal Reserve, which you're really not going to find out. But look who was involved in it in the book, Creature of Jekyll Island. So you're going to have to learn this stuff, and you're not going to believe it, because I didn't, but it's true. It's facts. G. Edward Griffin knows all about this stuff, and so do other people. My opinion is this, and this country has fought bankers and centralized banking forever. Well, they finally passed the Federal Reserve Act in the wee middle of the night, I think on Christmas Eve, when almost everybody was gone to their family, and they shoved this thing through. So how Aldrich was one of them. There's a lot of people that were involved in doing this. And in my opinion, this is how England's going to get the United States back and win the war, because they are buying our treasury notes and treasury bonds and things like that. And the Federal Reserve is buying them up left and right, which is owned by these people. So they're using our own system against us by these politicians just spending money after getting severed from the gold standard, because the gold standard won't let you spend more money, the government, than what you have in gold reserves. But Nixon ruined all that pretty much because of the Vietnam War, and probably a little bit from World War II with all that debt. But we got a lot of that back, though, especially from Germany. But see, I don't know the numbers, I don't know the details, but that's your homework to decide. But yeah, the Federal Reserve will take over this country, or the banks, that the people that own it, which are not in this country.
Right.
So you're right, because when they call the debt, and they're going to call it when they know we can't pay it, then they're just going to start coming over here and occupying and taking shit, which will be land and cities and businesses and everything else. They're going to take all our assets.
Yep.
Now, how fucking scary is that?
Right. On Netflix, there is a show called The Family that I have still not freaking sat down and watched.
I started watching some of it. You told me about it.
Yeah. And it's about all that, the Rothschilds and all those powerful billionaire families.
And it's about the National Day of Prayer too. It gets into religion. So it was kind of interesting, but kind of deep and dark.
Yes, very. And it's one of those shows that I actually have to, I want to pay attention to. So I can't be working while I'm watching it.
Oh no, it's very intricate. You have to, you definitely have to pay attention to what the hell's going on in that show. But I'll get into it too.
Yeah.
Who else is in here? Who's in the chat room?
I think it's just Pam at the moment. We may have some lurkers. Well, we definitely have some lurkers because it's showing more than just one person watching. So.
Oh, really? Do you see all that? Do you see how many people are watching?
At the moment it says 6, but whenever I go like after the show, it always it bumps up a whole lot.
Yeah, that happens with Ron too, because I saw 56 streaming or whatever that night I was watching him. And then the next day he's got like 400 views. I'm like, what the fuck? Really? So,
which as nuts as our show went yesterday, our Facebook views shot through the roof.
You know what? See, there's a lot of reasons why I let that play out. The first and foremost was she's entitled to her opinions and her right, and I let her go. And a lot of people wouldn't have done that, and I did, because that is this show. You come on here and say whatever the hell you want, and I did, and I let her do it. And it's funny you say that, because I go, wow. I wonder what this is going to do for our views. So,
I was too, and I was watching it all day yesterday just because of that curiosity.
And here's the thing, because I hope you don't mind sharing this, but you texted me and said that she felt bad and this and that, then I'm mad at her. And I wasn't.
No.
Yeah, no.
And she was also, whenever I was talking to her later in the day.
Yeah.
She was impressed that you didn't cut her off. Well, especially because of the fact that you were of a different opinion.
Believe me, I was biting my tongue. Because after my divorce, I don't want to get too personal. I told myself, especially with a woman, I am never arguing with anybody ever again. Because we're all told and taught you got to have the last word and have your say. And you know what? The last word doesn't mean anything. All it does is dish out hurt and destruction and pain. And I'm not going to give out pain anymore, at least voluntarily, as long as I live. And because here's the thing, if I would have rebutted her and, she said the pussy grabbing thing, and I could have said Clinton loved blowjobs. It's like, here we go. Blow for blow, last word.
Yeah.
She would have built up her defenses. I would have built up my defenses. And really what I wanted her to do is sit back and realize what's going on, just like anybody else in an argument like that, for the most part. And by me saying absolutely nothing, I obtained, I don't want to say that's what I was trying to do, but that happened. She looked back and she goes, whatever she said. And it's like, oh my God, I could have pounded on her and responded and rebutted and gotten a pissing match with her all day long. Not just her, anybody.
Yeah.
And trying to make her be submissive. Not that that's what I was doing. I don't want anybody twisting my words, but to get her to the point to sit back and go, wow, I really shouldn't have done that. And most people try to do that by pounding on them until submission. I found it, just let people say what they're going to say and let it take its course. It's like a karma thing. If you try to get justice or try to make people or have the outcome come the way you want to for justice and revenge, or see it my way and you're wrong, you're going to lose. But if you let nature take its course and let universal law or God or whatever you want, this is really deep, whatever you want, and just sit back and let nature take its course, the outcome is going to be, you can't even predict it. And in this case, that's what happened. But I'm really kind of, I don't know what I am. I'm actually kind of a little bit humored, and you're telling me that the views went up from yesterday's show. What is that?
Yeah. And I mean, because normally whenever we first get off of here, it's our Facebook is right around 20 or so, and it goes up through the day, but we hit over 70 yesterday.
No. Oh, get her on back here. Get her back on.
First thing in the frickin' morning, we were already up to over 60.
What?
Yeah. I was just like, whoa, what happened here?
The most I ever had with me just doing it, my friends, I didn't even have it in public settings, was 80. So that's crazy.
Yeah, we by noon we had on just a couple of platforms, we already had over 150.
Whoa.
And that was first thing in the morning. That was not, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That was like by 10 o'clock.
That's just fucking, I'm sorry. That's fucking crazy, man. 'Cause, I saw people pop in here like, oh, is this a Trump bashing? You saw everything. You saw
Yeah.
it. It's like, no, it's not. But this is an open forum,
Right.
to a point. I mean, if I get some devil worshiper or some terrorist, oh, yeah, we should go blow shit up.
Well, yeah,
and
they're
we
going to
should
go
kill it.
away.
Yeah, no. I got my boundaries. But when it comes to that, I'm going to let people talk about it. But, I don't know.
And it proved that. And yesterday's show really proved that no, we do not censor anyone.
Well, yeah, and
within reason.
And my hat's off to you too and your partner, because you're letting that happen. This isn't like, well, you didn't meet your community standards. Yeah, well, you know what? Go fuck yourself. Because
we don't have community standards.
Yeah, we don't have any. We don't have any standards here. We're just a bunch of misfits in a freaking network just trying to find the truth, and help people out, or help yourself out, actually. I mean, you can do whatever you want with it. But yeah, I think letting her go, as hard as it was for me to do, and I did, because that's the president, if it was Obama, if somebody was bashing Obama or even Clinton or any former president, I said, wait a minute, because see, that was part of my destruction of my life. Nobody, at one point respected me just being the president of the company, and I was getting undermined, and there was a mutiny going on from my own family. And I can see what that can do, especially when whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. The damage is done.
Right.
And when you start disrespecting that position, and not in the form of a dictatorship, or well, you have to respect them, because if you don't, you're going to die. That's not this country. That's communism. That's a dictatorship. Go live in Russia or North Korea and speak your mind and see what happens to you, allegedly. But yeah, it's the position, and if we have to protect the position, not the person. If you start attacking that position, you're just going to lower it, and you're going to cause all kinds of destruction that you can't even possibly imagine.
Right.
So that's where I come from. You start attacking Clinton, you start attacking Obama, and whoever's had that position, regardless of their party affiliation, I will protect that position. Not the person, the position.
Yeah, the position, yes, the person, no.
Right.
And I think that's more where she comes from, is the person in the position.
Right. Which is understandable, because
it's hard to separate the two.
This is so bipolar with people's positions, from Democrats to Republicans, that it's really scary, actually.
Yeah.
It's really scary. And I don't want to say I'm better than, or I rise above, or smarter, or whatever. I don't really care what people think, but I look at and take it to the next level, that it's the position. That's the president of the United States, the most powerful position on the entire planet. And if we don't protect the position, if there's pieces of shit that had the office or in office or whatever your opinion is, that's a different story. But that is the president of the United States. And if you tarnish that position by you commenting on it from the outside as a voter or a citizen or whatever, or if you tarnish it by being in that position and do some things to damage that position, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And it needs to be addressed, but don't take the position. It's the person. Get them out, vote them out, do whatever you got to do. It's like, oh my God, that was horrible. Jimmy Carter, he's a real nice, sweet guy, and he's still building houses for the homeless, but he wasn't the best president in the.
No, he sucked as a president.
Yeah.
He really did. Yeah. But he's an incredible human being.
Oh, no. He's got a heart of gold, and he's 80 whatever years old or thereabouts, and he's still building houses for people.
Right. He's just, and even after falls and injuries and things like that, he still just gets right back up and does it.
But you can't run this country by your heart, and you sure can't run a business by your heart. And that's the mistake. You got to run it by your gut, and you got to run it by what you think's the right thing, without being a total asshole or a dictator. It's my way or the highway. You can't do that. That's not You know, in a business you can, because you really have nobody to answer to unless you're a publicly traded company and you have a board of directors and shares. But if you're just a private company and you're calling the shots, you can do that. But if you make the wrong decisions, you better be ready for being accountable for the unintended consequences, because that's what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that's what kind of happened to me. I ran my business for 20 years, but I hired wrong people and family members, and then I got into my vice president's head and tried steering them away from what I was doing. And that's when all hell broke loose. I mean, you don't run a company from nothing for 20 years and not know what you're doing.
See, that's why I've never really had like actual employees other than my VA company.
Employees are okay, but when they start undermining you, and then they, when this was happening to me, an employee was undermining me and got into my wife's head, and I said, when this is all done, they're going to approach you to go into business with them. She goes, you're crazy. You're nuts. And
they did.
And they did. And they did. So in order to be a leader or president, you have to see beyond what's in your face and what's coming down the road. And the best way you could, it's like raising kids. I mean, running a company and raising kids, it's so similar. I can't even tell you. But
it is, definitely.
For every different employee is like a different kid. You can't treat them the same. You can't motivate them the same. You can't punish them the same. It's the same thing. But when you're at the tip of the spear, you have to have a God perspective and rise above the situations and look down the road. But you can't look back all the time, except if you learn something. But you can't look back worrying who's going to stab you in the back for all these people that you're making headway for.
Right.
And when that starts happening, you're done. You're done. See, and this is kind of, go ahead.
Did you watch that video that I sent you from Daniel Pink?
No, I did not.
Oh, you should. It's about what motivates us, and it's actually pretty fascinating.
I will. God, can you hear that fucking train?
I was gonna say that's not my train.
Yeah, that's because this mic picks up background noise. The other one didn't. So, but that's okay. No, but I will, because I really don't have a lot to do today, and I for sure.
It's only 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's not that. It's just that I got to go to the chiropractor, and I got fucking laundry to do. I mean, I got some stuff to do. But yeah, I definitely will look into that. God, I wish.
And by the way, if we do end up going into lockdown,
yeah,
you're more than welcome to come out on this side of the mountain and hang out with us.
I just might pack up my little Scion and everything I need, including my my food from Patriot Supply, which people probably think I'm lying to them. I don't lie, number one. Number two, I don't misguide people. I will pull, because I'm doing laundry now after the show. I got to go throw my clothes from the washer to the dryer, and there's a little storable thing in there, a closet with a lock. I will bring one of those bins in here to prove that I have had the food. I will. I just want to be, oh yeah, he's full of shit. He's just saying that. Listen, I'm the worst salesperson on the planet to try to make you buy something, but I'm one of the best salespeople on the planet when you need something. There's a big difference. The big fucking difference. Wants and needs that's the
if you need something, I'll find you a resource somewhere, somehow. I will work my butt off to find you a resource.
Right. And I have it. So I'm not just talking out of my ass here. I do have storable food from Patriot Supply. It has InfoWars names slapped all over it, but nonetheless, I have it. So tomorrow I'll bring it. I'll bring it in here to prove that I have it. But I might have to pack that shit up and get out of here, because I think heading for the hills is the right way to go anyway.
Well, we have a room it was 2 rooms, but they took the wall out, so it's one great big room. So you would have plenty of your own space.
That'd be great. I could put my "Make America Great Again" and my Trump flag and everything else. That would be wonderful. My MAGA hat. Which I have none of that shit, by the way. I'm being a complete asshole. So, but no, I appreciate that. That's that's what it's about. That's about looking out for each other, and I really truly appreciate that. And don't be surprised if I do take you up on it, because unless they shut down the interstates, I don't. It might not be wise to stay put here. So
Well, yeah, because Denver, the Denver Metroplex, which Loveland is part of technically, um, Denver's going to get pretty icky, I think.
yeah, no, it is. And the scary part, it's not
And
that big of a city.
yeah, and here we're so isolated here. I mean, when I'm watching everything going on, and I'm seeing pictures of all these shelves that are empty and stuff. And I go around the block to my King Supers,
Mm,
and everything's still fully stocked.
yeah. Well,
I mean, it's like people in this little horseshoe just don't communicate with the outside world, I think.
right. Yeah, that's okay. I think everybody should have, like I said, we should make a list of what we're gonna get and what we have or what I
Yeah.
mean, I don't want to say what we have, but what we should get uh and then have some type of bug out plan, whether you decide to be holed up or I mean, people really got to think into this, and but then you get accused of being crazy or dark or whatever, and it's like, well, why are you thinking that way? You should think positive. And it's
Shoot,
like,
I haven't been camping in years, and we have been over the years collecting camping supplies.
yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to go camping.
Yeah. I'm going
Yeah.
to go hide up in the mountain and be in a tent, and, I'll be fine.
Right. Well, it's the security of the analogy to this is the security that people, what if you lose your job? Well, I'm not going to lose my job. I'm in great with my boss and blah, blah, blah. It's like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, right. My fucking ass. Okay. So that's
Till
half the reason.
their finances are down and they have to get rid of you.
Exactly. And it's nothing personal. It's business. It's like, oh, what do you mean it's nothing personal? I can't fucking feed myself and my family. Fuck you. But
Yeah.
whatever. So, oh, I can't make my mortgage. That's your problem. But I've been a dedicated, long employee and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, for whatever reasons that day comes, this is the same thing. Well, I could just go to King Supers. I can go to Safeway or I can go to wherever. I can get the food. So it's not going to be a problem. Well, what if there isn't any food on the shelves? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Because that's literally think about before a big snowstorm.
Oh, I know people are nuts even out here. It dumbfounds me how people react to snowstorms out here.
It really does me too. But I will say that I have been snowed in, and it ain't fun. Especially when you forget to go to the grocery store prior to.
Right. But the analogy is, well, I have a job, I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, no, now you don't have a job. Well, I'll just go to the store. Well, there's nothing in the store. So what are you going to do? And you got to think beyond that without going too far down the rabbit hole, because you'll just drive yourself freaking crazy because it'll never end.
And now we are really in the position where if we go on lockdown or
martial law, whatever.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same.
Right.
You can't go to work. Your job's not going to be there. You're not going to have your income unless you work from home. And by some miracle, we keep our internet and our power.
Yeah, you're stuck. Well, you better don't do what I do and run out of clothes before you do laundry. I would keep up on things, even far as cleanliness and all that type of stuff. Stock up on some bottled water, some storable food. Keep your place neat and tidy, because there possibly might be one day that's all you're going to get. You ain't going to be able to do laundry. You ain't going to be able, what you have is what you're going to be stuck with.
Yeah.
You're saying 2 months. That's what you heard.
Yeah. People, that's what I've been seeing is pretty much the standard now, is people saying, and the different, quote unquote government reports, that people are seeing and spreading around, which who knows how true they are, but that's what I'm seeing now, is for people to be prepared for being on lockdown for about 2 months.
One thing I've learned with the government, especially when it comes to cost projections and budgets, is you double what they tell you. So if they're telling us 2 months, I would say 4.
Yeah, and I mean, what's going to happen when we come out of it?
But that part we really don't know, because that's where anxiety and this and that. And
yeah.
I mean, that'd be a bitch. It's like, well, I survived to pay my mortgage and get evicted. Fuck you. It's like, really? It was just like after the meltdown, and I emptied my entire IRA out to save my company. And I would thought the government and the IRS would give some type of break for doing that. Because
Yeah, good luck.
President Bush is like, just go spend money and just like nothing ever happened. Okay, yeah, but you guys just took over 50% of my retirement because I injected it into my business to keep people working and the economy going. And all the IRS could say to me is, when are we going to get our check?
Yeah.
So is it going to be back to normal and everybody's going to be a bunch of fucking assholes and you survived for that?
Right.
Because we're the ones that picks up the bill and fixes everything, us peasants. These people think they fix everything. They fuck everything up and then they come up with something and then they overpay themselves and then they make us do it or pay for it or both. So yeah, is that going to happen? Because that's what they do. I don't know. I didn't get my objective would be to get to the point of surviving. What happens after that? You know, I don't know if they treat everybody like a redheaded stepchild after this and okay, well, we all survived and now this is what you're going to do, slave, and you're going to pay for it. And we got to increase taxes to pay for all this shit. You can go fuck yourself. And you're going to throw me out of my house. I mean, they better not handle it that way.
Yeah. I'm real curious how this is all going to play out. Cause like I look at the reality of the situation. What are the possible outcomes of this?
And you have to look at go ahead.
And it's, so many of us are private renters.
Yeah.
And I could see them holding like apartment complexes and management companies to, okay, you can't come back at these people for these past 2 months. But what about the private people?
And you're going to be screwed. But I will never, unless it's land, sign a mortgage or anything for a house, because I'll just go, you know what, y'all can go fuck yourself. I'm going to go pitch a tent or buy a little camper and go sit on my land and you can kiss my ass.
That is so me. I'm just like, screw you.
Oh, come on, enough's enough, man. I don't have the resources or time on my side to keep bailing people out for them fucking things up. That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
No.
Oh, we're all in this together. It takes a village. Well, you fucked it all up. You pay for it.
And see, that's where I come in. That's where a lot of my views come in, is if the government screws something up for the average person,
it's your fault.
Then they need to step up and create those safety nets to protect those people that they screwed.
Now they're too busy with their bankers and everybody that contributed their money to their election to take care of them first. But yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I don't have any answer. Hopefully
None of us do.
Well, even after 9/11, we all should have banded together. And for a short term we did, but then it turned into racism and it just turned into a horrible thing. And then you had the meltdown. The meltdown wasn't handled any better. So by the past behavior of these people, what would make this any different? It seems like they always take advantage of a crisis or situation and they pound the living piss out of you and pound you down even more into your social status. Nobody's rose above anything bad that's happened except the friends of close people to the government with powerful positions. That's my observation.
Yeah, I really, my best guess at this point, and I watch a lot of historical dramas and shows and history. Just the Middle Ages fascinate me, and I see us ending up going back to a lot of the ways of the Middle Ages when this is all said and done.
They keep doing what they're doing. That's what's going to happen. And then your house is going to own by people that got bailed out by the government. Well, all you did is bust your ass to survive and pay for it. And they're going to swoop in and take it because that's what they did in the past.
Corporate socialism.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they wonder why socialism has big steam right now. They're the ones that caused the problem. They'll never admit it.
Well, I mean, if we're going to have corporate socialism, which we already do because of all the bailouts and all of that, if we're going to have some form of socialism, I'd much rather it be democratic socialism than corporate, because at least then we're taking care of our people.
Yeah, and that gives to the power to the people instead of to the
Yeah.
government. That's what scares the hell out of me with socialism for the way that they're saying it right now. The government has never fixed anything.
Mm-mm.
They fucked it up. They can't even mail a fucking letter without fucking it up. Sorry, a lot of F bombs.
Dude, I had a letter that I sent Scarlett a little package, and it took, what, like 5 days for it to get there?
By horseback?
That's my guess.
Yeah, sounds like it. Dog sled.
Yeah, we thought it got lost.
Yeah, I don't get it. They've never ran a profit anyway. So not that they're a business, they're part of the government. But yeah, and that's why FedEx came in UPS and kicked their ass because they actually figured out a way to do it faster and cheaper and make a profit. So
Yeah.
so the government's not going to fix anything. They never do. The only thing they do have figured out is maybe the tax system, but even then, at least collecting it, they have that figured out. But yeah, I just don't really have all my faith and confidence in them fixing problems. So
No.
if they
neither.
want to, they can, but they choose not to.
Yeah.
Because they're like 9/11, and then I'll let you go. 9/11, the way they handled that was like I was floored. It was like, number one, we invade a country when all the hijackers came from Saudi Arabia, but we invade Iraq. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah, that was number one clue that something else is going on.
Number two, they start taking your rights away as an American, and you didn't even fucking do anything.
Yeah.
Well, you might hijack a plane with a box cutter. Are you kidding me? Do you really think I'm that stupid? I would be one of the first people to jump on the guy. I don't care
Right.
what weapon they had and how about this? So why don't you okay, I'm gonna go to the extreme because they did. I mean, they started taking our rights away. Well, you can't get on a plane without us doing a cavity search and giving an x-ray and shoving shit up your ass to make sure you don't have a box cutter on you. Then you can get on a plane. You're free to go, which is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. I don't really care.
We can't even take a damn lighter on a plane.
Yeah, you know what? When I was going through DIA the last time at Christmas, I saw people weren't taking their shoes off. So I didn't take my cowboy boots off, and for a couple reasons, because they were brand new and I'm breaking them in. So hey, have fun pulling those fuckers off.
Yeah.
So I didn't pull them off. So the TSA agent looks at me before I'm going through the body scanners, like, sir, is there a reason you didn't take your boots off? And I go, because I didn't know I had to, because I'm looking at something else. So it's like, give me a break. They're boots, they're shoes. So they just went to the extreme and handled it all the wrong way. And that's what they do. I forgot the point I was going to get to after this, because we're talked about it, but they should have changed. Here's what I was going to say. They should have changed the way that they handled things. They put a canine officer and an air marshal on every flight. Don't hold up the airline industry and people that haven't done anything and violate their rights because they may hijack a plane. If you hijack a plane, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. And why don't we lock the cockpit door?
Right.
And put a little pisser potty and even a bar, for all that matters, for me, for the goddamn pilot and co-pilot in there. I could give a shit. Why does the pilot or the co-pilot have to get out of the airplane? Or not out of the airplane. Good luck with that. Out of the cockpit. Yeah. There's no reason in the world that they can stay holed up in there and locked up with the firearm, man, to protect people and passengers on that plane. So, but no, no, we got to take all your rights away and make sure that you don't even have a chance to do that. And that's not the right way to handle it, on top of invading a country that had nothing to do with it. Well, there's terrorist camps there. There's fucking terrorist camps everywhere. Give me a fucking break. There's some here allegedly in this country.
Oh yeah.
Why didn't you attack Texas? Doubt. Yeah, attack Texas or Michigan or whoever has some of those. And then the line that was crossed or boundary that affected me, it's like, wait a minute, what's going to define you as a terrorist? Then they transferred it to domestic terror. Oh, if you say anything against the government or whatever, or take actions premeditated or any actions against the government, you're a terrorist. Well, really? I thought that was a patriot, and that was your right granted by the Constitution to at least voice your opinion and grievances against the government, not alone to have a militia to protect yourself against the army, but or not the army. This has nothing to do with the armed forces, the government.
Yeah.
Oh no, you can't do that. You're going to get locked up and you're going to get on this no-fly list and all this other crap. For what?
Right.
Has
And
any-
you end up, if your name is the same as somebody on a no-fly list,
Yeah, good luck.
you're still screwed.
Yeah. They won't even tell you why, let alone you don't know you're on it until you can't fly. And it's like, what did I do? That's none of your fucking business. Really? Well, why don't we do that to elected servants? You're not getting on a plane. Well, I got to get here. Well, it's just tough fucking shit. You lied to us. You didn't do what you said you were going to do.
Right.
I mean, come on. You're pissing all this money away and ruining our grandkids and great grandkids and God knows who else with all this money you're pissing down the hole.
Yeah.
You're not flying. Yeah, right. Try that one. It's just so hypocritical and so on the point of tyrannical that it's like it's out of hand. They totally handled 9/11 the wrong way. People fucked up. No, oh, here's another what I was going to say, how the government handles problems. They create more positions and powers and departments thinking that they'll fix it. And you're just taking incompetence and multiplying it times how many more divisions and people you're putting into place.
Right.
And then they wonder why we don't have any money. I mean, you ever really looked at how many TSA agents, and this is nothing against them, that are at a fucking airport? One airport?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, we may just catch the one person that's dumb enough to hijack a plane with a box cutter. Are you serious? TSA agents got to make minimum $25,000 a year, minimum. I would hope it's more than that.
And that's not much. I mean, when you consider things.
Yeah. So you have 100 of them there. That's $2.5 million, right? If my math is right. Regardless, and I'm sure it's way higher than that. I'm being conservative.
Oh, yeah.
How many airports there are, not to mention if they're stuffed in the train stations and everywhere else they're at. I mean, really? We're going to spend $1 gazillion to save one plane from being hijacked? They're going to handle this whole coronavirus thing the same way.
Oh yeah, they're going to screw it up.
And they ain't going to do a goddamn thing. Common sense and people don't let the government tell you what to do for your own benefit and survivability, because they're going to be wrong and then they're going to make you pay for it.
Yeah.
So they need people that know how to handle this. Do you know that supposedly there was some biochemical lab right next to Wuhan, that they say this thing may have escaped from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. At first they were trying to blame it on the bats and all that stuff. And it has come out that no, that isn't what caused it.
Okay, so who are we going to send the bill then if somebody actually created this thing for whatever reason whatsoever and it escaped, which is negligence, if it was by accident, if it was on purpose?
I don't think it was by accident.
If it was on purpose, I don't even want to go down that road. But regardless, okay, you had this in your possession. It was released. Look at all the think of it from you or me in a business thing. You caused this act.
We'd be held responsible.
You are going to be held for negligence and liability. So every dime that costs people, not to mention the loss of life and all the lawsuits that should come up, is going to go against the people that had this virus, period. But see, it doesn't happen that way. Oh, no, we're going to step in and we're going to fix things and we're going to tell you what to do. And we're going to create the coronavirus division and then hire all these people. And they ain't going to do jack shit because there's nothing you can do about this thing except use common sense and try to slow down the rate of it contaminating people, the spread of it by common sense.
Yeah.
And we need to do that. I mean, hell, they're talking about canceling. Don't be surprised if the NFL, concerts.
Everything's going to get canceled.
It's going to get all canceled because that is just common sense right there. If one person has it in that stadium,
it infects the entire stadium, essentially.
Exactly.
Because one person to the next to the next.
Not to mention going in the bathroom or sitting on the toilet or fucking whatever, touching faucets, and God knows how many people touch the bathroom stall latch and all this shit. I mean, you would be a complete moron not to think, without being a germophobic, that it's not going to spread.
Yeah.
So don't go to public places or mass places like that and stadiums and concerts and which is going to hurt the economy. But what are you going to do? It's better than dying.
Right.
Oh, we'll step in. Don't worry. We'll fix it. You know, you can go there. Just bring some hand sanitizer and a mask. Why don't you just wear a fucking suit, hazmat suit? That'll be great. But they got to stop this. They got to say, look, we got to contain this. Everything shut down. And it'll probably be for 2 to 4 months because I think the incubation period's 10 days, but that's per person. And you don't know if another person's infected. So that's another 10 days. So
and did you see that they're now having reports of people getting it a second time?
Yeah, Alex Jones said that. I saw that on InfoWars yesterday, that a guy that was cured from it
Goodness,
didn't have
I
it,
actually said
again.
something that Alex Jones said.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is what it is, man. So that tells me that it's mutating. I'm not a freaking bioengineer, but the antibodies that the guy created or the person to kill it worked. But that tells me that it's already changed or mutated because those antibodies are in your body no matter what. That's why vaccines work, which is debatable. I don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
But that's why you're quote unquote vaccinated because of that. So that tells me that the thing's mutated already. And now it takes a different set of antibiotics for our immune system to fight it. So something's not right here.
Yeah. And people are, a lot of people are like, oh, well, coronavirus has been around forever. They don't get that this is a mutated form of it.
Yep.
It's not the coronavirus that's listed on the Lysol can.
Right. Which
Lysol isn't going to kill it.
No, I know. I don't know what to tell you, but it's instead of all these scenarios and everything, I mean, the government's not going to fix anything. If anything, they're going to crack down on us and then they'll tell us what to do. And then they're going to make us pay for it. And then they're going to create more government jobs, which is going to increase taxes. So that's the way they've handled 9/11. That's the way they handled the meltdown. So that's how they're going to handle this. But I think common sense and, I'm not saying disobey the government, but I would pay more attention. Like Pamela in here said, Bob Iger steps down as Disney CEO. Some other guy stepped down as a CEO. I would watch that stuff.
Yeah.
And I would watch the groceries. And to be all honest about it, I think Alex Jones is at the tip of the spear with this stuff, regardless of how crazy you think he is. Because I'd rather hear that than just hear it before it's too late on a reactionary level by mainstream media.
Oh, most definitely. I don't care who is saying it. I just, me, I had to be a smart ass and.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, but in some things, Alex Jones has been right. And some of the things he's been horribly wrong. I mean, I don't watch him and listen to him and take him as the gospel.
Oh, yeah.
I just take tidbits of what he's saying and try to piece it all together. But he's so far ahead of everything. And like I said, what you see on Drudge or what you see on CNN or seeing Fox, it's too late already. They're reporting on something that happened.
Not what's happening.
Happening or may happen. And that's where your guts got to come in because in planning for this stuff, if you want to survive, I would do all your homework. There's some shows on Prime Video and Netflix about virus stuff, and they're not like the Hot Zone or nothing. They're not Hollywood shit. They're actual documentaries on this stuff. Yeah. I was watching one yesterday from the Ebola virus to SARS to all the other stuff and how and where they're at right now. There's some shit in the jungle that's being carried by a bunch of rats and mice that if it got out and transferred to humans, we'd be dead.
Mm-hmm.
But since it's in field mice and they never see people or whatever, it's not a problem, of course, until we progress and rip the shit out of the rainforest and build a bunch of fucking hotels and shit. But then it'll happen. But yeah, there's stuff out there that we don't even know about. And it's some pretty scary stuff. So I would think educating yourself and where they come from, how they mutate, how they transfer from species to species, and then what you need to do to order to survive if this does become a lockdown situation. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And take it one day at a time. We don't know what's going to happen. If it does happen, we still don't know what's going to happen after that. If it doesn't happen, well, then great. But it's too big of a thing and it's getting too big too fast not to pay attention to it.
Yeah. Something else to add about the reports that I've been seeing
Mm-hmm.
is that they are the things that I've been seeing have been saying that it's probably going to start in March, the lockdown.
No, that makes this month. Oh, fuck, March is Sunday.
Yeah.
Whoa. Well, you know what? I think the sooner the
So
better.
we're looking at a couple of weeks out, most likely, is what people are saying.
I think well, then I'm going to start preparing this place for it being the Parsons Hotel because I'm gonna be here for a while and there's gonna be no vacancy. Of course, unless I come out to you, but whatever. I'm gonna start thinking that way without being totally obsessed and distracted by it
Yeah.
with my life. But maybe putting an hour or 2 hours a day into it to prepare for it in case it does happen. I think I'm gonna do that. That's pretty quick. That's Sunday. Technically, that's Sunday.
Yeah.
I was thinking 6 months out from now. But
No, they're talking like 2 to 3 weeks. What I've been seeing is like mid-March.
Whether you like Alex Jones or not, I'm telling you guys, he's the one to be watching for this and take everything as a grain of sand, but at least listen.
And take notice when you have people from all sides saying similar things, that's when you really need to perk up.
Right.
Because there is not much that I will ever agree with Alex Jones. Though I'm starting to realize that he may have changed his tune some. And I'm through you, I'm finding that I am actually agreeing with some of his stuff. But when you start seeing that, when you start seeing all sides saying essentially the same types of things, there's something going on.
Right.
When it's only one-sided, then I question. But and even no matter what side it's on, if it's only coming from one side, I question it.
One thing I've learned in my life is don't pay attention pretty much to what people say. Watch what they do.
Yep.
Their behavior speaks what they're doing. Like this guy resigning from Disney. Maybe he is resigning because it was time and it was in his plans. And then there was another one that retired. So watch what these bigwigs are doing because they may know. I'm sure they know things we don't. They're privileged information. We're not because we're not in the club again.
Yep.
So, all the emperors and the Romans and the chancellors and Governor Palpatine and Darth, all these fucking people, they know things we don't, and they're not going to tell us. We're the rebels, the rebels and the stormtroopers. We're just fucking piss on ants. But watch what the people with power in position, whether it's political or not, watch what they're doing. If we see more CEOs resigning here, there, and everywhere, or disappearing, whatever that means, pay attention. Because
they're preparing to go to their holes.
Yeah, their
safe protective holes.
Right. Yeah. I'd pay attention to that too. So.
Oh, most definitely. That's actually a really good point.
Just don't make it a political thing. Oh, they're doing that because of Trump, or they're doing that because of Hillary.
No, this doesn't have anything to. Doesn't have anything to do with politics.
No, this is about you and survivability. Don't spin it into a political agenda. Because I really don't see how you could. The only political agenda could be is like, well, we took care of it, we fixed it, and we're just the greatest thing since popcorn. Don't forget that we may have caused it, or a government on the other side of the planet may have caused it, and we knew it, but we didn't say anything. Forget about that. We're going to fix the problem, and you should vote for us. It's like, you know what? Don't tie politics into this. Just tie yourself into it.
Nothing to do with politics.
Tie your gut into it. Listen to as much information as you can. Take it for what it's worth. Discard probably 90% of it, but the 10% may save your life and guide you in the right direction. And watch what people are doing. And then collectively, like you said, watch what people are saying, but only when it's collective.
Yeah.
They're saying the same shit, whether they're black, purple, pink, short, fat, tall, Republican, Democrat, Alex Jones, CNN, Lou Dot. If all these people are saying the same message in their own different way, you better pay attention.
Pay attention. Yeah, and definitely watch what the rich are doing. Doing, not saying, doing.
Not to mention military movement, because in the
Mhm.
National Guard and everything, or whatever, because it's pay attention to the sky, not to mention the chemtrails that are up there that are not up there. But
I just saw one pass over.
yeah, helicopters or planes, or I mean unmarked military things, or what. I mean, just pay attention. Watch your surroundings, because it'll tell you what's going on.
We actually, I want to say like about a week ago, we saw some weird looking military trucks come through.
There you go.
And like I said, we're a town that is like really kind of isolated off from everybody else.
Do you think there's a chance, and it's probably slim to none because this shows nothing, to get somebody from Patriot Supply on here to talk?
You know what? I will email them and find out.
Because I know
I bet they would.
Yeah, because they've been
they've
been on Alex Jones, and just tell them what we are. I mean, do whatever you got to do, but just if they would come on here, and I don't want a lot of their time, and I don't want to talk. I want people to talk. So either in the chat room or calling in, because I want people to express their concerns, because the only thing I can do is assume what they want from my perspective, but I could be totally off base. But I would just like him to take fucking phone calls and talk to people about their concerns and questions and see what they say.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I will actually, as soon as we get off the air, I'm going to email them.
Yeah, if we could get a half hour of their time or whatever they could give us, that'd be fine, because, just let them know what we want to do. We want people to be informed on what's going on from what you know in your product, and actually take phone calls from people. If anybody calls in, if they don't call in, then fuck them. I'll ask them, and you can ask them.
Yeah. So. Oh, I got plenty of questions.
Yeah. And I think plugging that show would be great to get more people to get involved.
Yeah. And just a note on my Patriot, their shipping is delayed.
Yeah.
But they are getting things out. Scarlett got her last pack in like 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks.
That's not bad at all.
No, not considering the amount of orders that they're getting, and they are keeping up. So
that's great.
And they're one of the few. From what I've been seeing from comments, that when Scarlett has posted about them, they're saying that my Patriot is still the quickest way to get it.
Well, their policy should be, we'll get your food to you before you starve to death. That's a good
right.
That's another good slogan for them.
Right.
We'll get your food before you die. Which would be
we'll save you at the last minute.
There you go. Well, I hope he has a sense of humor, because I'll say shit like that. So, but I just got to get a little light into this. It can't be.
Oh yeah.
Hard, so, but okay. Yeah, guaranteed shipping. You'll get your food before you die. How's that? Okay, that's our promise. Of course, when you're dead, how's it going to matter anyway? Right. But anyway, that'd be very interesting. So that's pretty cool. But Alex Jones rants and raves about how great they are. And like I said, I got their product. I actually might make some for lunch or something tonight. I'm going to actually drag it into my apartment. I don't want it being away from, not my eyesight, but I want it within a vicinity where I can get to it without leaving my apartment. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I want to have accessibility to it. And I don't want people stealing it. Because
I know Scarlett actually made one of the soups. I want to say it was the broccoli and cheese, and then she added some ham to it, and she said it was really, really good.
Yeah.
She said the only thing she hasn't liked so far out of their food is the lasagna.
Oh.
She said it needed some spices.
Because it needs a little red sauce, you don't know how to fucking make it, you got to have me do it, and then I'm going to kill you. Yeah.
But they also say that you should start eating it every once in a while to get your body, because it will affect your digestive system when you first start eating it.
That's a great point.
And so they do suggest that you start eating it every once in a while just to start getting your body used to it.
That's great advice, because I had a plant burger and I put a pepper jack cheese on it and I put it on a grill and it tasted great. And the thing gave me the shits for 2 days. So,
well, you got to remember that stuff's made out of plants. It's not meat.
No, I
So
know.
your body is going to digest it differently. Plants are
That's
roughage.
that's the whole point, though. It's the same thing with this food. It could happen. So
Yes. Yeah, it will mess up your digestive system a little bit at the beginning.
yeah, I might start sneaking it into my diet. I mean, even once a week or whatever, because
Yeah.
you don't want to eat your emergency food. Well, I had to eat it to get acclimated to it, and now I'm going to starve because I used it all. So you got to be smart about it too. So
Yeah, just like every once in a while throw one of those, make one of those packs and start getting it into your system. And
right. Okay. Well, that's over 2 hours. Could you imagine if we had more guests?
right.
The news, the weather, traffic, and all that shit you don't need, on top of playing music, commercials.
Yeah.
Hell, we could turn this into fucking 3-4 hours easy.
Well, we could if you could be here.
Well, no, I'm looking forward down the road to see where this may end up because,
Yeah.
well, we got a 4-hour slot for you. And be like, holy fuck. I filled in for people at other networks doing that slot. And man, that's challenging.
Well, it's a lot easier when you have a co-host.
Exactly.
Because I mean, you and I sit here and we can talk for hours on pretty much anything.
And we do. But the biggest
Yeah.
challenge for people, and you're absolutely right, I'm not taking anything away from what you're saying, but if you really want to get good at this, you're going to have to learn to do the show alone.
I know.
And I'm not saying you, I'm saying other people that are dumb enough to do this. That, well, you make it look so easy. And, I've been told years for that. I played the viola. And my mom's like, oh, you make that look so easy. And what I do, well, that's a sign of a professional or somebody. When it looks easy and you're doing it, then you're good at doing it is the best way to say it. Like
Right.
some people could build a house or fix things where I couldn't do it to save my life, or neither could you, or to the computer. I mean, if you showed me, oh, Tim, this is how you fix this, blah, 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 and you're done for 5 seconds, it's like, what the fuck did you just do? You make it look so easy. Where I'd be like, you did, but you hit HTTP, what do I, all that kind of stuff, and all the code that you do. But you're going to have to learn to do this, and you're going to see how easy this supposedly is, because once you get to the point where you can pretty much entertain yourself and have a conversation with yourself and do that for an hour on a podcast or whatever you're doing it on, then it's all downhill from there. Because like you're saying, bringing you in, bringing a co-host in, just having the callers has changed the dimensions of the show.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it has.
Or the dynamics, or whatever word you want to use. And it's going to be even more. And then we have more qualified guests, or whatever that means. And it's just it'll go exponential, and it'll be great. But yeah, you got to learn to do this on your own, and it's very challenging.
Yeah.
Because believe me, when you first start doing it, I may have shows on Blog Talk that I might play. Like, oh my God, are you kidding me? This is horrible. But you got to be your own critic and judge. You just get, yeah, don't I sound great? It's like, no, you sound like a fucking idiot. You sound horrible. Because a lot of people do this because of their ego, and they, I can do that. Look at me and look how good I sound. It's like, you fucking suck, man. Not that I don't. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it all depends on why you're doing this. But the whole point of this is that this is not as easy as it appears to be.
No, nowhere close.
Just like playing professional football or being an actor. I can do that. There's no fucking way. There's no way. Unless you're a natural born athlete or actor or whatever, there is no way you can do this without making it to that level. And they say for you to make it to a certain level, being a professional expert is 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
10,000 hours. And by my math, that's 40 hours a week for 5 years. It's pretty close. So you're going to have to do this shit 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 5 years.
Yeah.
Then maybe you're good. Maybe. I don't even know. So
that just totally made me think about trying to set up this network like on a Wix site.
Really?
Yeah, because there's no way. it wouldn't happen.
Right. No, it's not. And this isn't the conventional way you do this anyway. This is a whole different model. Being able to talk on the internet and talk about this stuff without going for a job interview, and then the FCC license crap came in and all that stuff. You know,
Yeah.
this is unheard of. Back in the day when I was a kid, and somebody would have said, let's see, the DC Avengers, what the fuck are they called? Legends of Tomorrow pop in their ship and go, Tim, you're going to be on the internet doing a radio show on a network, you know, when you're 50, whatever. I mean, like, what are you talking about? What? You're crazy. Get the fuck out of here. You know, so this is a whole different technology and a different business model, which is, to me, is still in its intimacy or infancy, I should say. Not
Intimate infancy.
That'd be nice. We can orgasm while we're doing a show. So, but yeah, it's all groundbreaking things, and there's really no right way or wrong way to do this. You just got to do it and learn how to do it. So,
Which I got to tell you, I'm going to do a little sneak peek here. I am actually in the process of creating I guess a YouTube knockoff, where all the people on YouTube and Facebook and all those places where they put out their videos, and their videos are now either being censored or being threatened to be censored. They'll be able to upload to the FRN vid site, and there's no censorship. We won't pull their videos. They will have a nice safekeeping place for all of their information.
you would be a hero, because I do watch some people on YouTube and they took away their monetization. And I mean, if you're dumb enough, once again, to have your livelihood in someone else's hands and trust someone like YouTube, and I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this, then you're making a grave mistake. And even if you didn't charge for it or monetize it or whatever, you would be a hero, because that's the same lines as Facebook. I mean, Facebook's ridiculous too.
Yeah.
All this stuff is infringing on your First Amendment.
Yeah.
And the internet in the beginning was about anonymity and about saying and doing whatever the fuck you want. And it's not that way anymore. That would be awesome, actually.
Which we already have the news site existing. And we welcome people who want to start a column on our news site. So that way, you know, right now it's just news pumped in from all the different channels, both right and left, center, everywhere. And so we are actually looking also for people to write their own columns. And again, those are not going to be censored. You know, as long as you're not preaching hate or bigotry, you're good to go. So we already have the column ability. If anyone wants to start their own column, just go to the FRN page and send email to me through the contact form. And then once I get the FRN vid site launched, they'll be able to upload their videos, and there's going to be a nice safe place where, you know, we're not going to pull those.
Well, you're making me think you could take this network and do that. I mean, you don't even have to do a separate service. If you open this up to YouTubers and everybody, I mean, Ron's from YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you put the word out there and just have like a total open agenda to a point, without being extreme radicals or whatever, you'd have to be careful with that. But there's a ton of people that would migrate from what is it, Twitch and YouTube and Facebook Live and all that stuff, where they're sucked into the spider's web and then they're wrapped up in it and they can't get out, where there's no conditions, or you might have to have them sign a waiver so you protect yourself from something stupid they do. But other than that, an agreement and a waiver saying, listen, you're on your own and don't make this network accountable for something stupid that you do. I think that would just be prayers answered for a ton of people.
It's coming. I am on a foot ruler. I'm about an inch away.
There you go. Yeah, that would be. I'm going to tell you something. That would get the internet and all the community's attention like you would not believe. I mean, hell, you're talking about Alex Jones. There you go. There. I mean, he has his own thing, and he would never do that. But I'm just saying, all
Yeah.
these people that have been sequestered or banned or this or that or whatever. I mean, and it's not even really about that. It's just about the people now that are all tied up and restricted, what they can't say, what they can't do on YouTube. And like I said, again, the monetization, it wouldn't have to be a monetary move, but it would definitely be an unrestricted move, like
Right.
the internet used to be when all this shit first started, because that's the way it should be.
Right. And that's part of the reason we have so many different pieces and parts to the network.
Uh-huh.
We have the news site, we have our own private social media site that a lot of people don't even know about yet. Which that one is freedomrevolutionnetwork.com/social. Our news one is freedomrevolutionnetwork.com/news.
Mm.
So we're already developing a lot of those different platforms, and right now it's just a matter of me finishing out the video one, and that's going to be a major piece to our network, and
So cool.
I'm excited.
The sooner people and networks or whatever can stop putting their reliability on the platforms of Facebook and Twitter, and nothing against them, but you got to follow their rules in their world. Well, why not make
Yeah.
your own world?
Yeah.
And fuck
Yeah,
them.
that's our whole point, is freedom of speech.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to add in all kinds of various ways for people to have a voice.
Wow.
And not get censored and not get pulled and banned or anything like that.
It's very exciting. Huh.
That's what I do all day.
Yeah, but no,
And
that's
I don't
cool.
get paid for that.
Yeah, that's cool because oh my God, that's all I kept hearing people saying. Well, I got Facebook jail, or I got my account closed. I get this, I get like for what? And it was usually along the lines of either hate, which it wasn't, or political whatever, which it wasn't. You were just saying and using your First Amendment.
Yeah.
So, and if they start doing that and try to steer social media into a certain direction for whatever that is, that's just wrong. That's just not the way it's supposed to be.
But that's what's happening now. And
Right.
that's part of the reason why Freedom Revolution Network came to be, is that whole point of, everybody is censoring. The bots have gone absolutely bonkers, and picture of a dog comes up as against the rules because of nudity.
A dog?
Of a dog. I've seen that more than once.
That's
I am dead serious.
probably because it's not wearing clothes and it's all the robot sees. I don't know. I don't know.
I have no idea how the bots even pick those up.
It's just a hairy fucker.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I promise I will never, ever put on our websites.
Oh man, we can't. Oh, I thought you were gonna say nudes. Can I put my nudes on?
If somebody wants to post their nude, they are more than welcome to, dude.
Oh my God. No, that's okay. I just got interesting. Okay.
I don't have any problem with nudity though. I'm sure some do, but I don't.
Of course they do. So, all right. Well, I'll tell you what. I think it's time to go because my bladder's telling me that, and so my laundry, because that's damn near 2.5 hours. I think that's a record actually. So.
Our longest show yet.
Yes. So I think it's time to say bye-bye and say thank you to everybody. I don't know where everybody is though. Pamela was in there.
Yes. She got kind of quiet though.
Total vagabonds. Yeah, I don't know. She either fell asleep or turned us off. And
Brat Baby popped in. I just saw that.
I don't see it.
I had to scroll all the way up. It won't let me go so far back, but
okay.
I did see you. Hi, Brat Baby. Sorry it's late.
Oh yeah, the first ones to come in. Yeah, that's right. So, All right, so we'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. We'll probably not be obsessive, but we are definitely going to give some attention to the Wuhan coronavirus for sure.
I'm going to make my list.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll make a list and talk about it. And I would like people to call in, or if you're watching this, not
Hey,
in real
Bill.
time,
Bill just came in.
see that. If you're not watching it in real time, at least make comments in the chat room, because I don't think this thing's going away. And feedback from people that are listening to the show is invaluable to getting the word out, and that's what we're trying to do. So.
Yeah, and if you're watching us on YouTube, you know, once the show's over, it closes the chat. But please put comments about on the video about things that you're doing to prepare, and you know what your thoughts are.
Right.
You don't just have to chat in the chat room. You can also leave comments.
Right. Yeah. Good morning, Bill. You missed the show. What the hell? So anyway, that's okay. So yeah, we'll talk about that stuff. We'll go guests on. I do want to. I don't know if we'll talk about it every day. It depends on the status of what's going on. But I think it would be unwise for us not to give it some type of attention. So.
Oh, most definitely.
That's okay. You're fired. Actually, you're going to be in detention after the show. And you will be written up officially, and that's your first warning. So never be late again. How's that? How's that for motivation?
That's funny.
Yeah.
You're going to be in FRN jail.
Right. Yeah. Fucking ridiculous. So. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. And it's time to say, you want to say goodnight, Gracie?
Good morning, Gracie.
Good morning, Gracie. Yeah, that's true. It is nighttime somewhere, though.
Well, yeah.
Probably in China.
And we probably should give credit to George Burns and Gracie.
Yes. Thank you to them. And thanks to Pamela. I thought she was here all the time because she wanted to be. I didn't know she was a moderator.
Well, she is. That's part of why she's a moderator, is because she
wants to be.
Yeah. Well, I kind of gave it to her without her knowing, but no, she is in our chats for almost every show, and she has done an incredible job of handling the YouTube chats in the evenings. And it actually allows me, and Bill, you're a great mod too, and Times and Signs. I've got some really great mods in our YouTube, and it has actually allowed me to relax and not worry about the chats and be able to get off the computer at a reasonable hour.
Well, if we have any trolls, at least have a set of balls and don't start attacking people in the chat room. Call in. I'd rather talk to you than have you attacking people in the chat room. And so Pamela and Bill are essentially like our firewall, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We also, oh, hey, Bonnie. Bonnie Blake just came in. She is an incredible supporter of our network.
Good morning, everyone. You do have great mods.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell does that mean?
Meaning what I just said about our mods, that we have awesome mods in our
moderators. I get okay. See, I'm thinking like a car or dirt bike. Mods means modifications to me, not mod. I get it. I thought you misspelled it. Huh. All right, cool. All right, well, thank you very much to everybody and listening to us for 2.5 hours. Oh my God.
Right? We're gonna eventually push it to 3 as long as you can stay on that long.
Well, if you can get up at 4, then that's what we'll do. Otherwise, we're gonna have to shove this shit to the afternoon, or 2 segments, morning and afternoon. Whatever.
And speaking of that, real quick, I know you're trying to get off of here and
just
get your stuff done.
So that's really the only reason. But go ahead.
Do you know what night? Because I've already talked to Scarlett and everything, and just to make sure, you know, everything was kosher.
At the risk of, yeah, go ahead.
So we can choose a couple of evenings that we want to go on in the evening or in the early afternoon or something.
at the risk of sounding like a complete loser, I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a wife. I don't have a dog. My job is 8 hours a day. The only thing that I do is boxing and go to the gym. So in essence, I'm wide open. So it doesn't matter.
Well, then let's talk about that later.
All right. Yeah, you pick it and I'll do it. I mean, I don't care. I like doing this. This is a hobby for me. This is like playing the guitar, which is another hobby, or whatever people like doing for a hobby. This is my hobby. So I really can't do too much of it.
You know, as much as I don't do mornings,
yeah,
I actually look forward to doing the show every morning.
I know it's not the first time you said that, and it's not the first time I've heard it from other people.
Yeah.
So they actually look forward to their mornings and actually like, not that every show is high energy, but I've heard that comment too. It's like, I just love the energy that your show gives off. And yeah, we talk about serious stuff and dark stuff. It's all your perspective and how you take it, but it's not that. It's more like motivating and inspiring. It's like, listen, again, here's a box of tools. You can do whatever the hell you want to do with them. If you want to take them and throw them at people and hurt people, then go ahead. But if you want to take them and use them in a productive way to improve your life and your livelihood and your happiness, then do that.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do.
And I think we're succeeding.
It's going to take some time. Some people, it all depends on when they come on and what they hear and then how they interpret it. You know, like I said, again, the thing we were talking about transgenders. Well, Tim hates transgenders. You know what? You got to listen to the whole show. Okay?
Yeah.
Because I'll be a smart ass and an asshole and sarcastic on things. Anywhere from politics to race to religion to transgenders to whatever. The government. But you got to, depending on how the conversation's going and how deep we're going, then you'll really get to the core of it. But I just can't go, you know why transgenders are all fucked up is because their genders were different in reincarnation. And how could you not be a mess? Okay.
Right.
If I just said that, okay, show's over. Goodbye. Really? What's that going to do for anybody? But if you put little tidbits out there and throw shit at them little by little by little and see what sticks, and the people that stick around go, is he serious? Is that really what he thinks? And then they stay, and then you suck them in, and then you really get deep into it. You got them. You got them.
And we do have some interesting conversations. We definitely do.
Yeah, but it's got to be progressive, or it has to evolve to that. I just can't come on here and go, okay, today we're going to talk about transgenders and why they're all fucked up. It's because of the reincarnation thing, and they're a boy and then they're a girl and they're a boy and a girl, and you wonder why the fuck they're all fucked up. They need a good psychologist. They need to do what they want to do, make their decision on what their gender is, and everybody's happy. Show's over. Next. You want virus?
That would be funny.
Yeah, but geez, really? Is that what you want to hear?
No.
You gotta get people engaged and make them think. But first of all, you gotta knock them back. You gotta go,
yeah.
What the fuck?
Knock them off balance so that way they're actually paying attention.
Well, just like the show yesterday, but Anita did that for us.
Yeah, she did.
So Anita did that. So if I can get help in doing that, I'm all for it. It doesn't mean I agree with it or disagree with it, but yeah, put it out there. And apparently it worked because you said the viewers were off the charts comparative to what we usually have.
Yeah.
And like, knock your shit out, man. Go ahead and say all the shit to piss people off. Not that she meant to. There, some people she didn't. I'm sure some people agreed with her. But some people you pissed off, and that's the people that you're going to engage. You're either going to chase them away or you're going to engage them.
Right.
And hopefully the ones that stick through it and engage it and go, is this for real? Really? Like the show Lucifer. I don't want to watch a show about the devil, but I said, you know what? I'm going to watch it. And from the first episode, it got me.
I've heard that's a really good show.
Oh, I'm telling you, that's a great show. But if I come on here and say, well, I got a show for you that's about the devil, people are going to go, fuck you, fuck you. That's the bad guy. No, you're going to go to hell. You can't give him any attention, power, or energy. But it's a good show because it's just amazing the way that they spin it. So you actually like the devil, believe it or not. I mean, just from a viewer's perspective. And that's how you get them. You come up with this crazy shit, you get them in, and then you got them. And it's not like my business plan or my mission, but I want to make people think out of the box and from a different perspective. And the only way I can do that is to come at them that way.
Yeah.
So that's it. I'm giving all my fucking secrets away. But that's it. If there is any mission or format or whatever you want to call it, then that's it. But it's to make people think different and think for themselves. I don't want people agreeing with. Can you imagine having all these people call in the chat room? Oh yeah, I agree with you, Tim. Yeah. That'd be boring as hell.
Yeah. Talking only with people who agree with you really sucks because it doesn't open your mind up at all.
No, and it's tribalism, and it just makes you reinforce your beliefs that they're right. Because the more people you have on your side, and it's like, yeah, you know, whatever. Trump sucks. Obama sucks. Yeah. You know, like yesterday, you know, I could have jumped in any second and straightened her shit out. And I'm being sarcastic, asshole.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? So like, look, wait a minute, you know, you're fucking crazy. I don't care how much education you have. I don't care what you think. You know, I don't care if you're outspoken. You're wrong, and you're not saying that shit here, because I want people to agree with Tim and then Melissa for that part, you know, because we're running the show. Go fuck yourself. Yeah. But no, that's not what I want. I want the opposite of that.
Yeah.
To bring.
I want people to
talk and question themselves.
Yeah.
Because that's how you change behavior in the programming that you have. Because unless you analyze it yourself and look at it from other people's perspectives that are contrarian to yours, it's not going to make you think. It's not going to make you question.
Right.
It's just question yourself, and you'll find all the answers. To put people on that is it's kind of like going to a therapist. I mean, you're going to hear shit you don't want to hear, and you're going to be psychoanalyzed and being told things you don't want to hear. It's kind of like this. But I'm not a therapist. I'm just trying to make you think and try to get you unindoctrinated from all the brainwashing that you've had your whole life. And just because it's worked to a certain point or works in most areas doesn't mean that that's the right way to do things. This Wuhan virus, if they come up and go, oh, come in and get in this truck and we're going to take care of you and put you at the Hilton. Yeah, right. Real? Oh, yeah, of course you are, Mr. Government official that has an AR-15 and all these fucking grenades on it. And a taser. You know, yeah. Really, sure.
That brings back memories of history to me.
Yeah, exactly. Don't want that's what they told the Jews. Come here, you can work here with your own people, everything will be fine. They think they're going into a shower and they're going into a fucking gas chamber. Or an incinerator.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not getting in any government
Thank
truck.
You. No, but
I'll go run for the hills first.
But they care about us. Yeah, they're going to transport me in that mean looking military vehicle. It's not a fucking limousine or a tour bus. No, it's a military vehicle. Where do you think that's going? You think that's going to the Hilton? You're fucking crazy. You're more crazy than me. So
that's what you get for blind trust.
Exactly. So usually people have an agenda, regardless of who they are, to what's their benefit. So you better be very careful in who you're being submissive to.
Very much so.
Yeah. Because you might find out the hard way that the long-term plan might have been just to get rid of you in the first place, as crazy as that sounds. But if you told the Jews that back in the war, they would have said the same thing.
Yeah.
No, Hitler's doing great things for us. Yeah, until he finally decided to get rid of all of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying we live in that world, but it's like, oh my God, if we repeat those same mistakes and tyrannical governments get rid of the people that don't agree with them, we're in big trouble.
Yeah. Big time.
Yep.
Like I said, I'll find my little spot in the mountain and
yeah.
You won't hear from me again.
Oh, no. I know this. I know these government officials that have nothing but the best for our intentions. You just come here and we'll go where they tell us to go and everything will be fine. What's wrong with you? Don't you trust anybody?
Hell no.
No, I don't either.
I learned that lesson at a young age.
Not now. Well, it took me 27 years to learn mine. So it's sad to say. But yeah, I think Mulder was right from the X-Files. Don't trust no one. Isn't that what he says? Trust no
I
one.
don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen X
Oh,
Files.
yeah, he keeps saying that the redheaded chick, his partner, is like, trust no one. Scully.
Yeah.
Scully.
Scully, yeah, that's her name.
Trust no one. Go, you're fucking crazy. Well, maybe not. The older I get, the more that's coming with me. I don't fucking trust anyone. I mean, I'll trust a few people, but they do one thing and cross my boundary, you're pretty much done. I've been
Almost
down this
definitely.
road before. What are you typing?
Oh, I was just Bonnie was talking about how she's older than all of us. And I was just gonna type out, which I'll go ahead and just say it, that only the lucky ones get to see those higher numbers.
Yeah, right. Shock
You know,
jock.
many do not get to age to over 50.
Right.
So I'd say, Bonnie, more power to you.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see. Shock jock. That's how Howard Stern did so well. Yeah. Yeah. Howard, I don't want to shock people though. And not to the point like he did. I mean, he goes down the sexual realm road too much for me, even for me. I don't want to do that, but I get what she's saying.
Yeah.
Gotta
And I totally also get what Howard Stern has done. I mean, look at what he's created.
I'm not taking nothing away from him. I
Yeah.
still listen to him once in a while, and I'm still amazed what he still does. It's crazy. I mean, there'll be nobody like him ever again. I
Oh,
don't care
no.
what anybody says. He
is the original shock jock.
Yeah, he's the best of the best. He
Always will be.
I just wish he would move to LA, because when I heard him do a show from LA from the Sirius Satellite Radio studios, he had Robert Downey Jr., Arnold Schwarzenegger, just all these people. And I'm like, it totally changed the energy and the dynamic of the show. And I'm just saying, man, I don't care what you got going on in New York. You got to get your ass to LA, because it was such a way different show just by being in LA.
Interesting.
I mean, could you imagine, we're doing this stupid show and we're in LA and Robert Downey Jr. pops in, or Brad Pitt pops in. It's like, and he just hey, can I come on the show? Which is spontaneity. It's like, oh no, you gotta, my agent tried calling you to come in. It's like, fuck all of you guys. Arnold comes in, just outside. I want to come in and say hi or whatever. How fucking great is that, man? That ain't gonna happen here. It's never gonna happen regardless.
Well, okay, so I am actually actively trying to figure out ways to get a hold of some of these big names.
Are you?
Yes.
Wow. Well, I'm going to give you a little tip or whatever. Just tell them there's no script. You can talk about whatever the fuck you want, because everybody gets somebody on the air and they corner them into where they want them. And then they just don't want to do it.
You know who I'd love to have on?
No.
Is Joe Rogan.
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't that be freaking amazing?
You know what? And he might be open enough. I actually had his phone number.
I think he's one of those that I think would be open enough to doing a small show.
I think it'd be great, because he says he doesn't feel threatened by anybody by doing this. And of course he shouldn't. That'd be like him be threatening me and I get in a MMA ring with him. He's going to beat my ass. I'm not a threat to him, and I wouldn't be a threat, or you wouldn't be a threat to him doing this. So, but that's not why he does it. I'm just saying that he encourages this kind of stuff. Just like if I was dumb enough to get in the ring with them, believe me, I'm going to learn a lot more by getting my ass kicked by him than going to any type of training and how to fight. You got to do it. So, but he wouldn't do it just to beat my ass, and he would not come on here because, well, I don't have to come on there. I got the #1 podcast in the world. His perspectives are amazing on success and things like that. It's shocking. And people told me to listen to him, and I go, I don't want to listen to him. But when I moved out here 2 years ago, coming here in my truck or my car, and didn't have anything to listen to, I downloaded some of his podcasts, and I was floored. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's so engaging and so real and honest and thinking out of the box, and very intelligent, by the way. And I'm like, oh my God. I go, this guy is him and Howard Stern by far are the best interviewers on the planet, period.
Wouldn't it be cool if he actually heard our show?
You know, I think it would be, but I think he's too busy to do that. But
Yeah,
I
I highly
get what
doubt
you're
that would
saying.
ever happen.
I get
But
what you're
man, it would
saying.
be cool.
Yeah, that'd be like him showing up at my boxing class in Loveland. I mean, the chances
Yeah.
of that are fucking slim and none. But I do get your point. And
Yeah.
he may, but he's made it very clear he doesn't want to go on a network. He's turned that stuff down. I don't even think he wants to grow any further than what he's doing. I think he'll be content till the day he's done or dies doing what he's doing. He's doing his own podcast.
He's doing it his way.
Yeah. And there's no reason not to do it any other way.
I wouldn't see him like actually going on a network.
No.
But I'd love to have him on for an interview.
He's turned down Spotify because he's like, I don't see how that's going to benefit me. And I don't know the details. And he may be on there now, but one time he did say that. And I'm like, oh yeah. Why? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Leave it alone. You have no reason to go on Spotify.
Right.
Which I wanted to bring up to you again. I don't know if there's an RSS feed link that we can put on our webpage or my show page, because some people like to download the show. And I know they can do it on Spreaker and have the Spreaker app. We're really not.
We are actually on Spotify. We are on, hang on, let me go look. I got to go look because I don't remember what all platforms we're on for the audio. But I know we're on iTunes. We are on Spotify. And I'm waiting for my page to load.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
Well, I've also got like 20 windows open already, and it's not even 9 o'clock.
Jeez.
Let's see here. Okay. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, and I added a couple other ones. Podbean. Now I'm looking through my bookmarked links.
Podbean and Spreaker are my two favorite.
Yeah. So yeah, we're actually on quite a few different platforms, which is why it's kind of hard for me to, because of the way they distribute, it's hard for me to actually see our actual stats.
Yeah, unless you go onto their webpage where they do it there, and that would take you fucking forever.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Yeah, but to be honest,
I try from time to time.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm not a numbers guy. That would be just a waste of freaking time. Because what are you going to do about it anyway? You know, so it's like.
Well, for us, it's enticing advertisers to come advertise with us and things like that. So it's.
Well, if you look at it a monthly or quarterly thing, that's fine. But like to look at it every day and go, oh my God, you know, we're down here. It's like, you know what? Now you're starting to think like a bean counter in the corporate way of thinking. It's you can't measure success just by numbers. And that can't be your ultimate motivation or goal. You just got to do your thing and attract people instead of promoting it. And then we get to that level, then that'll attract advertisers and go, look, here's our numbers. If you want to see them, there's our viewership, there's our retention and all those magic freaking numbers that you need to get advertisers to stick with you and go from there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. My main reason for watching stats all the time is just how to improve them.
Right. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, believe me, this show is no model for how to do anything. So it is what it is, and whatever happens, happens, and then that's it. So
well, yeah.
So the rest of it is just whatever. When I had my company, I provided a service, I busted my ass, I did the best that I could above and beyond my competition, charged market rates, and I made a shitload of money. I was never a number guy other than numbers to do my tax return, corporate tax return for my account, and taxes and 940s and 941s and fucking whatever. So that's the only time numbers came in. So, but I didn't let numbers rule my life. So.
Oh, no, they definitely don't rule my life, but I do watch them very religiously just because I need to know what I need to do to improve our reach.
Yeah, well, it's it's going to be to the point, okay, what are we not doing? But when the numbers go through the roof, you're going to go, wow, what are we doing?
And that's why I brought up yesterday's show and our
Yeah,
numbers.
exactly. It was a counter anti matter result that shouldn't have happened. You know?
No, I didn't think our numbers would be as good. And instead they went up. So, hey.
You totally I'm surprised, but I'm not shocked, if that makes any sense.
Oh, I'm not either.
Yeah. Like, why not?
Because it was something different than our norm. And it also proved some really important points about our show. And the fact that, no, we do not stifle people.
Yeah, to a point, but yeah,
To a point,
right,
yes.
for the most part, right. Yeah, I'll have some boundaries. Some shit starts going down really bad, I'm stopping it. But that I had, she was exercising her First Amendment, and for me to censor that or stop it would be hypocritical. So
right.
You could say whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't mean I'm going to agree with it or disagree with it, but just like the more I let people talk, it seems like the more higher the attraction is. So even if it's totally against everything that I think, so
yeah,
I don't know, I can't explain it. Whatever it is.
Well, that's the whole format of the network is free speech. So we just proved it. That's all.
Yeah, you just proved how powerful it is, and what the unintended consequences are. And in this case, it was positive. So
yeah.
Go
and
figure.
she did call me later in the day and asked and was making sure we didn't get like any major blowback for it and all that. It's like, no, actually, I there hasn't been any comments about it, just higher viewership.
Could you imagine going to a bank or whatever, somebody that's thinking about buying this network or getting it, or advertisers? How are you going to get your listenership and membership up? Well, we're going to have these people call in that totally disagree with us. And even though that we know they're wrong, I'm just talking, even though that they're wrong or they're full of shit or whatever, or they hate the president or they whatever, we're just going to let them say their piece.
Yeah.
And they're going to go, well, that ain't going to work. Really? Well, apparently it does. So who am I to say? Like I said, this is all uncharted. You're supposed to know your customer, know what they want and everything else and all that kind of crap. I still don't think that's true because Steve Jobs said this when they were coming out with the iPad. It's a fascinating book. I recommend everybody read it. It's like when they were coming out with all the products they were coming out with, the iPod, the iPad, the phone, everybody said, well, how do you know what customers want? How do you know they're going to buy this? We need to know what they want. And Steve Jobs replied, he said, our customers don't even know what they want.
No, and most of them don't.
No. So that defies every marketing, every sales, every marketing plan on the planet, because you need to know and identify what your customers want. But how can you do that if you don't even know what the fuck they want, or they don't even know what they want? How do people really know this is what they want? How can you? I don't even know what this is. Do you? What is this? What is this show? I really don't know.
The best way that I explain it to people whenever I tell people about it is that it's when you think about radio, most of your morning shows are a host and a co-host chitter-chattering back and forth, mixed in with some music every once in a while.
In a morning zoo or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah. And that's basically what we do. And we just have very few limits on what we will talk about or not talk about.
Right. No, that's pretty much it. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really care. That's why in the show description, when I type in Spreaker every morning, what are you going to talk about? Like, I don't know. There's no agenda here.
No.
So.
And even when we set one, how often do we actually follow it? Have we yet to have our conversation about marijuana and CBD?
It's coming.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Hey, I wonder if I could get Snoop.
It'll be on my tombstone. I don't know. That guy, they had that guy and Seth Rogen, is that his name? On Howard Stern when they were in LA, because they just popped in. Oh my God. Snoop Dogg is I didn't like him, you know, because I went by a judgmental visual of him. It's like I don't like that guy. But then I listened to him and then on the show.
He's
and I'm
actually
like,
pretty amazing.
wow. Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
You want to talk about somebody who breaks the pothead stereotype?
Yeah. I know that was another thing they brought up at the debate, because Sanders wants to legalize it across the entire country, and Bloomberg's like, well, we're not going to stop the states that did it, but we still need to do more research on it and blah, 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 blah. All science crap. Yeah, but it'll be all science crap that's bad for you, because he brought that up. He doesn't bring up all the good things, God forbid. The things that are proven.
Well,
so
marijuana hurts the big pharma industry, so.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. What were they saying? They were going to go up against somebody, targeting somebody, that it's wrong and we're not doing it anymore. I don't know what the fuck it was. But they wouldn't bring up all the PAC money and the sponsors and people that are funding their. Sanders said that to that Buttigieg guy. What's his name? Buttigieg. Yeah. How he was getting supported by billionaires, you know, which Sanders can't stand. So it was just some all hypocritical selective targeting crap. I didn't like it.
Of course. Always is.
Yeah, but kind of funny. All right. Well, if you want more entertainment, start watching the debates for sure. Because they're only going to get better. And then the presidential debate will be nothing. I mean, it's going to be one for the books. I'm telling you.
Oh, this one, once we get our, whoever the friggin' Dem choice is going to be, DNC choice.
Right.
No matter who it is, it's going to be an interesting election cycle.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And I do say that laughing, because it's going to be sheer entertainment, man. It really is.
You should light up a bowl, get a 6-pack, your bottle of whiskey, whatever you want, and some popcorn, and just sit back and watch this, because it is going to be going in the history books. Is probably, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's definitely going to be one of the most entertaining elections ever.
By far.
Yeah, period. You can't make this shit up. So, all right. Well, that's 3 hours. So there you go. So we got our first 3-hour show. So I really got to go. And then I got to get to the chiropractor anyway. So I really do got to go. But yeah, everybody share the show, and thanks for the comments. And don't be scared to call in, because we're one big happy family here. And apparently you're going to be able to say whatever you want. And, I'm going to let you, and that's fine. And then you'll help our ratings go up. So you never know. You really never know what's going to happen. And that's why I love this show, because the spontaneity. You never know what's going to happen. So,
yep.
All right.
Good night, Gracie.
All right. Good night, Gracie. Thanks, kids. And share the show. And thanks to everybody in the chat room. And we'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. You have been listening to the original Red Pill Show.